You just get ready to go with them, and I'm gonna send the article. I need somebody to read. All right.
Sir.
All right. Questions?
Sir, I have a question about the law on the garments. It's like the fringes on the garments are when they and the question comes in place when the scripture was saying how when Christ comes back and with the people who are dressed in strange apparel, worries.
You had to pull it.
Sir.
You had to definitely pull it for me.
All
right. Just so I know. I'm reading exactly what it said.
Sir.
All right. What was the question about it?
The question was with the fake Israelites, the fake camps, they put fringes on their t-shirts because they're supposed to be dressing with because of that scripture that says you won't recognize those who are dressed in strange apparel, and they're saying anybody who's not wearing fringes on their clothes is dressed in strange apparel.
Just once you get the precept we're talking about, just pull it from there, all right? Gosh, I'll call you Wreck-It Ralph, boy.
It's like, where do you want me to put this?
You can put it on the floor. It can't fall from there. It's like, get it. I'll call you Wreck-It Ralph now. It's not in your code. God damn. You live in that name. All right, anything else? Anybody have any other questions while the brother pulling the precept? You're good? You know the Bible?
I think I got the precept. Zephaniah 1:8. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children and all such as are clothed with strange apparel.
Mm-hmm. That's what you're talking about?
Sir.
Where you at?
Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 8.
I don't think that's pertaining to this. Go ahead, read it one more time. You heard them use this as to why they put fringes on their t-shirts?
Sir.
Okay.
I've heard the fake camps say that when Christ comes back and you're not wearing fringes all the time.
Okay, but have they pulled this one? Or this is just what you want clarification on? I ain't never heard them pull this. I never heard anybody use this one in that context.
Sir,
but is it this one or is it this is another one that you're talking about?
I'm gonna look it up myself.
No sweat. No sweat. Take your time. Anybody else?
Trying to reminder the horsemen and what we're on. What spirit are we on right now?
The horsemen.
I was trying to see if we was on the spirit of war or violence or something like that.
All right, let's pull the scripture. All right. Anybody else? Good. Right. Also tonight we're gonna go into like how does a city fall into decay? How does a city fall into sin, decay? It's a city not being kept. The reason why is anybody who living in the DC area since about May, had to be May, maybe just after Passover, you hearing how all the chaos of DC, all the shootings, kids getting hit, this, that, the other, the robberies, it's just a whole chaotic type of vibe, and you wonder why, right? You wonder why this is the place like that. This could go into the same thing with the horsemen the camera talking about, and also you heard Monday in Philly, some sister get raped on a train for 8 minutes, and people went live instead of no. Of course, I wasn't on the train. I don't know how accurate the media is. They could have just pulled out their phones trying to stop him and film at the same time in case he gets away. I have no idea. but he alive, which is ridiculous, right? That's the point of it, and everybody's wondering why is it that as a people nobody acted? All right, so it's one we say, come on.
Yeah, because it was on the article. They were saying like he didn't catch the woman alone. He catch the woman on a train with other people around. Like
It was like 5 o'clock in the evening, 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening.
He did it in front of people.
Hell yeah, he did it in front of people.
So,
He did it in front of people. There's people on the train. The cops come and caught him in the act.
right, and nobody's like
Nobody
stopped.
No. So we're gonna go into that a little bit, all right? Let me get the scripture the brother was talking about.
It's like that. That was it. Zephaniah 1 and 8. I've heard them use that, sir.
Okay, this as far as I recall, I could be missing it. This is not talking about what the other scripture is, with Christ coming back and meeting you not in your garment. You know what that is?
Loud, sir.
Okay, give me Revelation. Give me keep it thy garment, or keep it thy garments. Revelation 16 and 15. And somebody read it, all right?
Revelation chapter 16, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame.
All right. Does that sound like what you want, McQuash, or something else?
I've heard them say with the strange apparel. I've never heard this one, sir.
Oh, with the strange apparel. Okay, that's not what this is talking about. And if it is the using that for the strange apparel, they have on strange apparel, right? Their clothing is strange apparel. It's gay, right? It's gay apparel. It's weird apparel. What they wear cannot be found in the Bible. You understand? They don't have a stud. They don't have. That's not fringes what they're wearing anyway. They don't have no headpiece, right? Give me the attire of the priest. Give me the attire of the priest. You know what that is?
Exodus chapter 28 and verse.
Where you say that?
Yeah, starting in verse 4. Yeah. Verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the garments which they shall make.
Mm-hmm.
A breastplate.
You want to skip up a little bit more so we know who you're talking about. Start with verse 1.
Exodus chapter 28 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And take thou unto thee Aaron thy brother, and his sons with him, from among the children of Israel, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office, even Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu. Slack it, sir. Is this Abihu or Abihu?
You said right.
Abihu. Eleazar and Ithamar,
right.
Aaron's sons.
All right. So, Bakwash, what's he saying here?
So he's talking about the
you want to pass that book along so they sign their names. Right? You don't have to sign that, all right?
I'm just common concept.
No sweat. Go ahead.
He's talking about the Levitical priest, Aaron and his brothers.
What does he say?
It's like, can you read that for me one more time?
No sweat.
Exodus chapter 28, verse 1. And take thou unto thee Aaron thy brother, and his sons with him, from among the children of Israel, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office, even Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar, Aaron's sons.
So he's saying he's separating these people to be priests unto the Most High, and he's separating these men from the rest of Israel, and he's I'm not going to say make an example, but he's putting a difference between these men and the rest of Israel.
And why is he making a difference between these men and the rest of Israel?
because they're going to be the priests who are delivering the Most High's word to the children.
Exactly. They're going to be the priests. And the priesthood would come from Aaron's line. It's Aaron and his sons. And that's the priesthood. You couldn't just be a Levite. You have to come from Aaron's line. You get the point? Keep going.
Verse 2. And thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron.
Say it again.
And thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron, thy brother, for glory and for beauty.
Right, you're going to make holy garments for Aaron, for glory and for beauty. Right, holy means separate, meaning the priesthood, the garments the priests wear. This is a priestly garment, not everyday clothes. This is a priestly garment. It's supposed to be holy. It's supposed to be a separate thing, something that doesn't look like everything else. Right? It's supposed to be glorious and what?
And for beauty.
And for beauty. That bullshit t-shirt they wearing ain't glorious. And it's not attractive. It's gay. And it's not holy because every fake Israelite wearing the shit. Right? That sodomite actor, his father is a sodomite, the one who lay on the congregation and was humping them to raise up a bishop. I forget his name. He acted in a few movies. Right? I think that's his name. He acted in a movie where he was half man, half something, where he was like a goat, half a goat and half a man. It wasn't one of them fantasy movies.
Yeah, that's his name, Brandon.
I believe so. He's some Hollywood actor. He wears them type of shirts too. Right? There's nothing holy about that shit. You understand? You look at the garments the brothers in Shalom says, you look at the garments the brothers in the UPK wear. That's absolutely holy. You can't find that nowhere else. You can't find it nowhere else. Even if somebody tried to wear the long garment, the ephod with the war belt, the shit still look gay because they try to make everybody in one color. Either burgundy or all green or all blue. The shit still look gay. The troopers wear all black in here and look colder than anything they wear. Because our garments are holy and glorious and separate. You get the point? All right, so let's see what these holy garments are about. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And thou shalt speak unto all that are wise-hearted, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom, that they may make Aaron's garments to consecrate him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office.
All right, what does this say? Anybody? Read it one more time. Nice and loud.
Verse 3. And thou shalt speak unto all that are wise-hearted, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom, that they may make Aaron's garments to consecrate him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office.
All right, what does that say?
So like, is it kind of saying, you know, real recognize real? Like I'm only gonna like when only my sheep will hear my voice, and those people who do hear the Most High's voice, they're gonna recognize.
It sounds like only the people in the truth will make his garments.
Kind of on it, but no.
Aaron and his sons, they will speak unto the children that follow the law, statutes, and commandments. That's the wise-hearted, you know, being wise and knowing the law, statutes, and commandments.
Barack?
I looked at the word consecrate, and it's like to set apart or to, you know, to, and I guess in this context, talking about like their garments, that their garments is a part of setting them apart from how I want to go with it, setting them apart for pretty much like
from
that,
everybody else.
From everybody, yeah, kind of.
All right. So, what does it say? Yeah, man. Yeah, but
I was going to say like that. I'm paraphrasing. I'm off a little bit, but like then the high priest had on like a garment that was like different from everybody else's. That they pretty much made him the head. Like he's the one in charge.
Definitely. But
So,
what does this one say here? No, I'm not gonna be honest. Go ahead.
The consecrated garment makes him the official to admit.
Consecrated is like what, the third or the fourth line down? Now you're skipping 3 whole lines out. Read it again, nice and louder.
Verse 3. And thou shalt speak unto all that are wise-hearted, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom, that they make Aaron's garments to consecrate him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office.
Okay, so he will be speaking to people who are already marked with the truth. Well, let me not go there. Let me just say, people. He will be speaking to people who are seeking the most.
Focus. This is on garments we're talking about.
Okay.
This whole thing is garments.
Right. So it's it. Like once again, it just seemed like the congregation or the people that he's speaking, that's in the, or maybe his family's making the garments, or the people that's in the truth is making the garments. That's what it sounds like to me.
You on it. This is more than that.
He's talking to the people that are smart enough to listen to him. They're going to make his garment for him.
Okay, not necessarily smart enough to listen to him, but
Or the people that's skilled in that field.
yeah, this garment that gonna be for Aaron and his sons. It's like today. Like if you go to some award show, who designs for the Met Gala or the BET Awards, or is it anybody? Is it downtown locker room? Nah, it's big designers, people who this is their wisdom. It means the garments that these priests gonna wear. This is not something you're getting on the corner store. This is all the way up to the top. Not some proud Christian broad who liked purple making a goddamn garment. You get the point? Like these garments the men who making these garments, they on a different level with the garment. You ever seen Commander YAHANNA garments? Yeah, you know who make them? Who makes some of them? Captain I.S.U.P.K. By hand with the leather. There's a picture people were circulating Commander YAHANNA. What was he wearing? It's like a beige, it's like tan. Like the undergarment is like this color. Then he have leather polished all over it. And there's like two lions on the chest. And Jeremiah Hyman is in black with, damn,
It's brown leather.
it's brown. And it has the shield on one side and a lion or something on the other side. Now, in fact, did all of that handcrafted with studs. You get the point? Now, is he making garments for the whole nation? No, he's not. He's not doing it. Did you ever see Commander YAHANNA boots? Everybody wearing them boots? You understand? But them purple faggots, everybody wearing that dumbass purple. Everybody wearing them little, Lego set armbands. You see these armbands? I made these. You get the point? That headpiece you wearing, everybody wearing that shit? No, you gotta put the spirit on them things. Look at that headpiece Barack wearing. This headpiece that Triple Shapat wearing. Is everybody wearing that? No. But that sodomitish purple, everybody wearing that. You know what I mean? Or that next, ragamuffin group. I can't even call it ragamuffin. Trash. Right? That some GMS raping break off. Wear t-shirts with the fringes on it and a Yankee cap and Jordans and shorts. You look like everybody, nigga. You look common. And that's why you're common. You get the point? The people who makes the garments for the brothers in here is, specialists at making garments. You get the point? That's what he's saying. Speak to them that they may make these garments. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 4. And these are the garments which they shall make. A breastplate and an ephod and a robe.
Right? A breastplate and an ephod. Because Aaron was what? What was Aaron? Who knows?
He was the chief minister.
Or high priest. Right? Aaron was the high priest. He had a breastplate. Aaron's breastplate was the breastplate of the high priest. Who was the high priest today? Nope. Commander General YAHANNA is Commander General YAHANNA. He is the top general. Christ is our high priest. Right? Because we follow after the priesthood of Melchizedek. Right? Christ would wear Aaron's breastplate with the 12 stones for each tribe. Right? Notice you don't see nobody wearing that style, but that's traditionally the high priest garment. Right? He would wear the ephod with the breastplate. Keep going.
And a broidered coat.
And a broidered coat. Right? A coat that comes over everything. Right? Embroidered or so twirled together with woven together with expensive fabric. Not that gay purple and gold bullshit or that red and white bullshit. You get the point? Go ahead.
A meat tree.
A what?
A meat tree.
A what?
A meat tree.
I ain't got no meat tree tonight. You're lucky. almost did it. But you see the point. Do they wear meat trees? Much less a headpiece. Who wears meat trees? Who got the monopoly on meat trees? The UPK. And that's where you're going to see a meat tree. If you see a meat tree outside the UPK, it should look like toilet paper that fall off the road. That's what it look like. You know when kids unravel the shit and you make them unravel it back? And it just don't sit right. It look like trash. You get the point? But that ain't glorious apparel to be, you know, that, what it said. What it said in verse 2? Read verse 2 again.
Exodus chapter 28, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron, thy brother, for glory and for beauty.
For glory and for beauty. You get the point? Whatever they're wearing is not for glory and for beauty. You understand? And you keep reading down this whole thing, it would tell you, give me the next verse, right? The next verse is, you know, is more proof that what they're wearing is the strange garment. That thing they're wearing is strange. Go ahead. So now you already see it. You need a mitri. You need the war belt, which is the girdle. You need the ephod, which they don't wear. The master ain't wearing the t-shirts. We wearing it all the time. What else? The coat. Go ahead.
What's just for clarification? What is the ephod?
The ephod is the garment you wear for the Sabbath service. That's an ephod, the long garment, right? Whether it cross or whether it come over your head with a hole for, you know, to put your head through. That's the ephod. The coat could be something you put over it as well. You get the point? Go ahead. Give me verse 5.
Exodus chapter 28, verse 5. And they shall take gold.
And they shall take what?
Gold.
Go ahead.
And blue. And purple. And scarlet. And fine linen.
Right. They shall take gold and blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And they shall make the ephod of gold, of blue, and of purple, of scarlet, and fine twined linen, with cunning work.
With cunning work. What does that mean?
It's detailed and intricate.
It's detailed. Like, what would we say?
Glorious.
Well, the Bible says glory. What do we say?
Tawab. More than Tawab.
That shit fire.
That shit fire. Right? You get a badass garment. Hold on, let me see. Damn. And you hear it all the time. Damn, look at the detail. And you watching that shit. You saw Passover, the brother in Mississippi, Tazadakia. He had a ridiculous garment. I mean, it's like he drew a war on it with a spaceship and shooting shit and shit blowing up. And it just make you want to just, you know, study the thing. And that was the whole Passover. And everybody had on something different. It was, you know, hundreds, possibly a couple of thousand people down there in Houston. And imagine nobody had on the same garment. There was no two garments that looked even close. Not even close. You have a whole ton of bitches in purple. That ain't glorious. And they use this scripture. They say, well, you know, Christ, purple is royalty, and, you know, it was the color of the priesthood. That's not the color of the priesthood. The color of the priesthood is what, Bukwash?
It's gold, blue, purple, and scarlet, and fine linen.
That's all. With intricate design, with cunning, and you have a mitri on it. If you want to see a picture of it, Barack, see if you find that. Let me see what I find for you. General Q popped it out about 2011 in honor of the high priest. He didn't have the breastplate, but he made this garment here with the mitri. Brother, it's the baddest thing I've seen out. Hold on. Somebody see if they find that picture. Whoever know what I'm talking about. Let me see if I find it to you and send it. Read the scripture one more time, man.
Exodus chapter 28 and verse 5. And they shall take gold and blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen. Verse 6. And they shall make the ephod of gold, of blue, and of purple, of scarlet, and fine twined linen, with cunning work.
Go ahead.
Verse 7. It shall have 2 shoulder pieces, thereof joined the two edges thereof.
Right? That's just like your Sabbath service garment. A shoulder piece coming up and the joined up here. Right? Go ahead.
And so it shall be joined together. Verse 8. And the curious girdle of the ephod, which is upon it.
What kind of girdle?
The curious girdle of the ephod.
Barack, I just found it, right? I'm going to send it to your Facebook. Now you're going to have to crop it. All right? You're going to have to crop it down to all the way to the left. All right? All the way to the left. Send it to your Facebook, right? Let me know when you get it. Right? You got to crop it or zoom in all the way to the left and make sure and, put it up on the screen so everybody see it. And you're going to tell me if, who's wearing strange apparel. All right? So what does it mean the girdle is? What kind of girdle it is?
I got it.
You see it?
I got it.
You get it in most sign correct. What kind of girdle is it, Susanna? You reading, right?
Yeah.
No sweat.
And the curious girdle of the ephod, which is upon it, shall be of the same, according to the work thereof, even of gold, of blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen.
What does that say? What is it saying when they say curious girdle?
It's saying like makes you want to look at it and wonder
like what the hell is that shit? You get the point? That's every UPK garment up. Every single one. See a brother coming with a belt, rap walking with a belt, everybody's like, and the haters gonna be like, yeah, that's alright, it's alright. I got more John Blade shit than that. Alright. But you get the point, like even Shabbat be creating some shit and it's like, what the hell is that? It's curious. It's a curious thing, like, whoa. Now that purple thing that they done cookie cut and press for 500 people, every sodomite who walk in there wearing it. That's the strange apparel. You get the point? That thing the Lord don't recognize. You understand? Now pull up the picture there. Then on Q wore this in got to be 2011. 2010, 2011, somewhere around there. Go ahead.
It was 10 or 11. It was 10 or
10
11.
or 11, yeah. Got that. I think that was all your class was up in that thing. That Passover was thick. And he came up in that thing, brother, with the whole garment the same way how the scripture described it, with the gold, the blue, the scarlet, the purple, with the mitre, the scarlet and gold. I forget what colors the mitre was in. A curious war belt. He had a menorah chain along with a big menorah on it and a staff, dressed like how in remembrance of how the priest would dress according to this. It's paying in honor. He wasn't making himself high priest. This was paying homage because he didn't have the breastplate. He didn't go there with it. He went right there. Okay, this is what we do. He got them colors right. You get the point? Not that sodomite nonsense they wear. All right, everybody see that? You see it now? It's up to the screen. Let me know if you was able to crop it to the left. All right, that's the priest garment, not that nonsense them sodomites be wearing now. Them purple sodomites. Go ahead.
Is that this pants over right here?
Nah.
I can't see it. It might.
This is one before.
Oh, okay.
He's wearing something like that there?
No, he's not in it. Not in this picture.
Okay.
But I'm just
No, I think this Passover here was I forget where it was, but that's it wasn't this one. It was one in the same place where they shot Malcolm X. Right? It was in that the Audubon Ballroom. It was in that Passover.
That's what that one was.
No, that's another one. I forget. It's saying something A too, but this one is in Harlem. This one here is in Harlem. Everybody's able to see it. See the garment General Q was wearing? That's straight out of the scriptures, right? You get the point. Complete with the headpiece. What they wearing that's not it, all right? So just give me Revelation 16 and 15 one more time.
Revelations chapter 16, verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked, and they see his
Blessed is he that keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. What does that mean? Go ahead.
I mean, Christ rolled up. You do not want to be caught not obeying the Most High commandments.
Okay.
You don't want to see. You don't want other people to. I mean, less other people see you. Like, you say you're a priest, but some people see you smoking cigarettes or doing whatever kind of sin. Christ rolled up on the scene, and you do not.
Okay, so tie it into keep the garments. Coming to. Tie it into keep the garments. Hold on. You want to check with him? Let's watch this back out there.
Just want to keep this saying in the garment, keep the garments all keep them straight. Nah.
If you don't have these holy garments, then you might as well be naked. That's shameful.
What do you mean? So, as long as I wear this stuff, I'm good?
Well, the holy garments on the holy days, right?
No. Buddy?
Salak, would that be like blessed and keeping the garments? Would that be like keeping the commandments?
You answered.
I don't want to make it sound like, like spooky or whatever, but it's not just wearing a garment, but it's being with,
Being what?
Being a garment. It's like not being the, that's, I ain't want to make it sound like spooky, but it's not just wearing the garments, but it's the meaning behind it, like how you wear it, I guess you could say, or the meaning behind it.
You're all in the neighborhood. You're in the neighborhood of it.
Living by the law, statutes, and commandments.
Not just that.
It's like it just piggyback off what Barbara was saying. It's like you're embodying what the garments represent.
And what does the garment represent?
The Most High.
No. Not good enough.
Count on time.
Sis?
Is it teaching the law, statutes, and commandments?
You answered. If it represents teaching the law, the garment represents teaching the law. So what are we talking about?
Say like the garment is your covering, so you're covered with.
It's too Christian.
Is it like with Adam and Eve? The garment is like the culture, or more.
Okay, you dancing around it, but it's very specific. It's close to what he was saying and what the sister was saying.
Oh, I'm about to say displaying or doing it like everybody.
What do garments represent? What does the garment represent?
Right.
Priesthood.
Say it again.
Priesthood.
We just read the garment in the Exodus, right? Who keepeth thy garments? The garments represent the priesthood. When Christ said, "Make sure you keep your garments," what does that mean?
Make sure you keep the priesthood. Make sure you stay.
Make sure you stay in the work. You understand? Because when people go home from work, what do? And now I'm no longer a lawyer. I'm no longer a doctor. And I'm the stethoscope. 3 o'clock, down the tools. I'm fixing one more car. You're trying to get your brakes fixed, you'll wait till tomorrow. But you have to keep your garment. You understand? Your garment doesn't come off. Does it mean now that you put on your ephod and your war belt and you go to sleep in it? Nah. What does it mean?
It means the work don't stop. You might be, say, go to camp from 12 or 11 to 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get, some brothers get off, might got to teach the Hebrew class.
Mm-hmm.
Might got to teach a class, or after camp is over, you might have to attend to a brother or sister needs. You might be asleep, a captain or general, or somebody over you call you at 2 o'clock in the morning. There's something needs to be done. You got to get your ass up and go get it done. The work don't stop.
Exactly. Let me crystallize it for you. The same person you are now, you have to be that person when nobody looking, which is hard because ain't nobody looking. You understand? You done put it away, put it in the closet. Time to spark. You done put it away. Now you on Facebook trying to catfish niggas and get money. You get the point? The same person you are when you wear it, you have to be that same person when you're not wearing it. Which means what? Which is sidebar to it is the garment when they talk about fringes on the garment, is garment you wear to work. The priestly garment. It's not talking about everything like fringes on your basketball shorts or your gym shorts or whatever. You get the point? Which is what the t-shirt fringes is. You get the point? That's why he said make sure you keep your garments. It's like keeping your work clothes, keeping that. But he's talking about the spirit of it. The spirit of it, because them same Christians, that same IUIC, they had a sodomite in there that went to a transsexual and had sex with the tranny with the purple shirt, with the flyers in his hand. That's how the cops was able to find him, because the tranny said yes, he was wearing a purple shirt with some Israelite bullshit with flyers. After he had sex with the tranny and then shot the tranny in the face. Now, you want to tell me about strange garment? Nigga, at this point, we ain't worrying about your garment. You could wear what the hell you want. It's what you do when nobody looking. He thought nobody would see him. You get the point? So that's it. You understand the question? That's it. Any more questions? We good to go? Come on.
So it's in Revelation 6, the spirits. I was trying to see what I think.
Yeah, let's get that.
Last one, the spirit. I was trying to make sure what spirit we were in.
Say again?
I was trying to make sure what horseman we were in. What spirit.
All right, let's get Revelation 6, all right?
The world was into life. The world is into life. Yeah, Revelation 6. 1. Revelation chapter 6, verse 1. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals and heard, as it were, the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts, saying, come and see. And I saw, and behold, a white horse. And he said, and he that sat upon him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him. And he went forth conquering to conquer and to conquer. So this white horse is the spirit of truth, or the spirit of Christ, right?
Mm-hmm.
Spirit of Christ, spirit of the truth. That's how we woke up.
Right, the white horse is Christ's spirit. It's the spirit of Christ. Right? Not exactly Christ, but the spirit of Christ. All right, go ahead.
Verse 3. And when he had opened up the second
right,
seal,
and this is going forth, conquering and to conquer. What does that mean?
all brothers having their eyes open to who they are, that they are Israelites, that Christ did them. Okay.
That's before. Having the knowledge, okay, in the UPK, having the knowledge of you being an Israelite means nothing.
Right.
The UPK standard is way above everybody else's. Right? The fact that you're an Israelite, that shit don't mean nothing. Eddie Griffin think you're Israelite.
Right.
You know what I mean? That don't mean nothing. Eddie Murphy think you're Israelite. Right. That don't mean nothing, the fact that you know you're Israelite. You get the point?
Well, you know what I'm saying? Following the laws of the Most High and establishing schools all over throughout the earth.
So that's going for conquering and to conquer. Give me the UPK phrase.
Bring back the soul what?
I'll take that too. Something else.
Say, conquering the spirit of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I may have heard the question wrong. I may have heard what he said wrong. I was going to say taking ground.
Yeah. It's taking ground. It's taking ground all over the place. Conquering and to conquer. What does that mean? And to conquer.
I mean, we just not the schools as now. We got it's more work. The work is continual.
So what does that mean? So I just conquer somewhere. Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
Taking ground.
So I just conquered somewhere. What does that mean?
Like you just conquer a place, but you're going to continue to conquer until everything is taken over.
So
you're right.
I rule this place.
Okay, you conquer the place. Going forward, conquering is like in the moment. You're conquering. Like, what am I doing now? Teaching. I'm speaking. So imagine I say going forth, speaking and to speak.
Meaning to rule, like there being rulership.
Conquering and to conquer.
To go somewhere else to speak, to keep on with the work, adding on to
you
the work.
Conquering, but this place done subdued. I'm looking for the next place to conquer. This is not enough. I'm going more. The appetite is there to conquer. You're conquering now, and then you're going forth more to conquer. You get the point? Going forth more to conquer. Mr. Little Sideways, you ever see the show with Kanye West and Kobe Bryant? Say, what do you want from me, Kobe? More. But I've been the best. I want more. I want more. It's more. That's the spirit of Christ. The spirit of Christ is not sitting back. It's what? The kingdom of heaven comes not with observation. You get the point? It's not with observation. It's conquering and to conquer. So you see, just knowing you're Israelite is not enough. Just not eating pork is not enough. What the hell are you doing? Nothing. You get the point? Nothing. The spirit of Christ is how you have the mission to Acuna. You get the point? Get them a hand. You get the point? That's the spirit going forth. The Abaddon took over the whole of South Texas. From Houston all the way down to the damn Gulf is his. And he went over the border. You understand? The spirit of Christ is Kentucky 8. Going forth, get them a hand. Going forth, conquering and to conquer. You get the point? That's the spirit of Yahushua and Christ. Not fringes and t-shirts. You get the point? Not that. And you lead again up and twerking to Boosie. That's not the spirit of Christ. You get the point? Who are they, Hannah? Come on.
What you're saying is, we took ground and we taking ground.
No, we taking ground. We took ground and we're going to take more ground. Give me this next precept. Give me Joel 3. Hold that one way you have right there. We'll come right back and come. Give me Joel 3. No, it might be 2. Give me the army. Give me Joel 2 and 7. Somebody read it real quick. Whoever have it first.
Joel chapter 2, verse 7. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. Mm-hmm. And they shall march every one on his ways. And they shall not break their ranks. Verse 8.
Right? This is the army of the Lord. Right? They will go over every wall. They'll run like chariots and they'll run like horses. Like when you hear them running, it's going to sound like a company of horses coming. You get the point? Go ahead.
Verse 8.
And not break rank means what? Not break rank. What does that mean?
Separate. They'll stay in order.
A little more. Esau's military stay in order.
Not be afraid.
That's what causes you to break rank. Fear.
When they say not break rank, I would just imagine men marching in one line, but didn't break and start them. Let's say just doing work with fearlessly.
That's not breaking rank. But what does it mean to break rank?
So it's run away as everyone's running towards the fight.
That's one. Defecting.
They'll listen to the men above them.
That's defecting.
Leading formation. The proper place.
That's true. There's something else.
For not listening to the orders of the person.
That's true.
Man above them.
That's true. That's just expected in here. This is talking because it tells you. Hold on. What verse you at?
Verse 7.
Go ahead.
Verse 7.
No, read verse 8.
Verse 8. Neither shall one thrust another.
Mm-hmm.
They shall walk every one in his path.
What does breaking rank mean?
Breaking brotherhood.
Yes. That's breaking rank. You understand? Breaking the brotherhood. Because it says neither will one not thrust another. What does thrust mean?
Killing each other.
Like thrust through. Where does that happen? Bukwash, Kazakh. Who else? Who else have had experience in Esau military or service? Where does that happen? Men thrust their brothers through. Go ahead.
On the battlefield.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them flags is friendly fire. You understand? Go ahead.
it happens so much that they have a name for it. Fratricide.
Exactly. You get the point? Because now the brotherhood done broke out. And since the barracks, since day one, since y'all jump out that damn C-130, as soon as them towel heads start firing, you get, some good US rounds behind, and then they ship your body home and your parents cry. And they tell you something about, he died in Afghanistan, that's the war on terror. No, some devil from Omaha killed him. You get the point? This army is not like that. This army is not like that. What else happens in so-called oppressors' military? Suicides. Sit on that base, shoot up the base, and go blow your head off. That ain't happening here. You get the point? Skip me up to verse 2. I think it's verse 2 or 1.
Come. Joel.
No, verse 3. Salaki.
Joel chapter 2, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
A fire devoureth before them,
Mm-hmm.
and behind them a flame burneth.
Mm-hmm.
The land is as the garden of Eden before them,
Mm-hmm.
and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them.
So going back to Revelation now, conquering and to conquer. What does Joel 2 and 3 say?
Like they're conquering, but they marching, they're still going onward to continue to conquer.
The fire behind them,
Right.
and it's like the Garden of Eden in front.
Right.
What does it say?
It's like this place that they're going to is
The fire behind them
God,
is
the destruction that they need.
conquering, and then the Garden of Eden before them is to conquer.
Right.
I'm going to get that. I just done destroyed this place, but I'm going to get that thing there. You get the point? That's the spirit of Christ. You get the point? So, Nakama for the pale horse. What's this one? The white horse. When is that happening? No.
1969.
It's happening right now. This is the last days. So the white horse is already on the run. Right? Let's go. Keep going. Let's go back to Revelation 6. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And when he had opened the second seal and heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red, and the power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
Right. So this red horse, what is his power?
To stop all peace, just like a lot of everybody.
So if he's stopping peace, what is his power?
To kill, to cause
Think
chaos.
opposite. Peace.
Sorrow, tragedy.
Raise your hand next time, right?
Sorrow,
War.
tragedy.
War. If he's taking peace, if we're not at peace, then we are war.
Right.
If he's taking peace, the only thing left is war. Where's the red horse? When is it? Now. And the red horse running right alongside the white one. Right? Go ahead. And that's not just wars and rumors of wars.
Right.
That's everything. Go ahead.
Right, and we just run down everything like a DC. Like, how many months ago was the mass shooting at the National Stadium?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like certain things. Certain things is a little bit strange. Like it was a mass shooting at the Nationals.
Nationals game, yeah.
At the Nationals game. Then now, you thought all the murders would slow down in DC because the summer is gone, but actually the murders are going up in the fall.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of shooting, and it everywhere. Like a lot of gentrifiers and oppressors in DC are surprised that because shooters don't usually happen in certain parts of Northwest, but it's happening now.
Exactly.
Northwest, and it's everywhere.
It's coming right to them.
Right.
Yep. Go ahead.
And all over the time.
Who reading verse 5? We'll get somebody else to read. Somebody else take it for the brother, right? 6 and 5. Quickly, all right?
And when he had opened his third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand.
All right, so now on this black horse, right, the angel tell him, "Come and see," and he's seeing a black horse, and the one who sits on him had a pair of balances like a scale. So he holding a scale in his hand. Right, go ahead.
Verse 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see, thou hurt not the oil and the wine." All
right, what is that talking about? Come on.
Famine.
Famine. Break it down, though.
Sadaki, if I could.
Next time, wait until somebody call you, all right? Put your hand up and then wait. But go ahead.
Would it be like there's the food there, but the money? I mean, there's no food there, but you have the money for the food.
That's exactly it. Go ahead.
Slocky, and hurt not the oil and the wine. That's Israel.
Not just Israel.
The priesthood.
Yes. All right. It's the same, damn near the same topic we're talking about from the beginning of the class. The oil. Why? How you know it's the priesthood and not just Israel? How you know it's the priesthood and not some actor who, daddy is a sodomite and he think he's the reincarnation of, Jeremiah. How you know it's not some purple sodomite somewhere or some Christian who's saying Shabbat Shalom? How you know it's not that and the priesthood? I'll tell you. In this bottle here I have oil, and in this bottle here I have wine. What am I? For 400. This guy holds a bottle. This guy holds wine. What is he? Jeopardy. Come on, who knows? I'm a priest. Because not everybody uses these tools. If I walk around with a goddamn jack and a spanner and spark plugs and an oil filter, what am I? A surgeon? What am I? All right. Hurt not the oil and the wine. These is my tools. I anoint people with this. And I make sure I ain't kill too much people by having this. You get the point? That's my tools. That's the tools of the trade. So now he's saying, this famine is coming. A measure of wheat for a penny. And what does it say? 3 measures of barley for a penny. What does that mean?
That means that the value of these things will be very low when the famine comes.
The food is worthless. And this is what happening, right? It's been happening after COVID. You've been eating old meat. Wendy's been cooking meat from last year, making people sick. The story done came out. Right? You think our oppressor is throwing away all that damn meat? All that chicken he import from China? You think he's throwing away that? No. He frees that and sold it right back to us. That's why it's so cheap. Food is so cheap. Meat is so cheap. Everything is so cheap. It's worthless. Right? It's worthless because the food is worthless because of the famine. Right? When is that horse riding? Right now. That horse galloping right now. Your winter's about to be very lean. Either stock up or man up. I'm trying to tell you.
It's like I was at Walmart complaining about a juice that they never had. And
say again?
It's like I was at Walmart complaining about a particular store brand juice that they never had. And the lady told me it's going to get even worse because the distribution centers, they can't get the food out.
Yeah.
They don't have to.
They say, I think since the country opened back up, since what? When did those start opening up? March or April this year? When it started opening up. They said the demand has been so high. The supply has been short. They need 80,000 drivers right now to meet the holiday demand. 80,000 truck drivers right now to meet the holiday demand. You know what that means? And by Thanksgiving, you're going to hear a ton of these 18-wheelers turning over. Because everybody with a damn weed card going to drive. Because they need drivers to meet the holiday demand. Who was telling me about Biden? I think it was you, because Biden said, 24 hours on the docks? Just to meet the holiday demand. It's rough now. It's rough, and the Lord will make it rougher. Go ahead.
That's right, yes, sir. They got hundreds of containers out there on the coast of California.
Yeah.
They
can't process it, and they can't have drivers to take it across the country.
Right.
It's bad.
It's like, if I may too, sir,
Please.
It's like the Lord is brewing the perfect storm, because on top of that, now there's a shortage of workers that you don't even want to work.
Right.
So it's like now, on top of you need 8,000 drivers. Like, I read an article in Massachusetts.
80, not 8. 80,000.
I read an article in Massachusetts. They had to deploy the National Guard to drive school buses because they had such a shortage on school bus drivers.
So all that AR training is for nothing. Well, I guess you can shoot the shooter before he get off.
Yeah.
You're going to see Timmy coming there with them big old boots like this and the leather coat and looking at everybody all wearing. You could shoot him before he shoots up the school. God damn. It's getting bad. It's getting bad. The Lord's setting them ass up. Right? Whoever's reading, let's go.
Revelations chapter 6, verse 7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard...
Right, so like it, and hurt not the oil and the wine, we are not suffering. In fact, we increasing. We from making babies to taking ground. Schools coming up. Brothers and sisters coming in the school in the pandemic. Like, we increasing. Hurt not the oil and the wine. Like this angel on this horse, he gave instructions to go forth and destroy and make it hard. But these niggas here, who in that garment that's not strange, that in the priesthood of the Lord, don't hurt them. Right? Don't hurt them. Everybody else, yeah, you're going to feel it. Come on.
It's like, so if I can use the precept where it says, harm not any green thing.
Harm not any green thing. That will work here. I think that's somewhere here.
That's in Ezekiel, sir.
This also.
No, I think it's here too. Where it might not be in this verse, where the four angels holding back the winds, and they say don't harm certain parts of the earth and not any green thing. I think it's in here, right here too.
Verse 8.
Verse 8? Okay, we'll be getting to it. All right. So I can come on.
Also, too, the German behind me always brings out in class. Kind of like to always talk about it too. About when you're in the school, you know what I'm saying, you have a seat. You have a seat. This is, all of us are elected.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? People are chosen. So we get, but if you're in the school, we got to realize not to take our position for granted.
Yeah.
Because it's
no bullshit.
You know what I'm saying? The angel is not going to hurt the angel isn't going to hurt the oil and wine, but if you give up your seat and position in school, you will get hurt.
It's the horror movie. It's everybody hiding under the attic and one nigga sneeze. You that nigga. You that nigga. The beast going by. You hiccup. And everybody looking at you. And you're like, oh, and then some come to the door and they pull you and you go on. And everybody's like, no. I'd be like, shit. Yeah. You effing up the whole goddamn thing. That's you are. You trying to take, as they say, take it for granted and leave the truth. The Lord done call the SHALAM. You know what I mean? The goons in the street, they're looking for the house to spray with a drive-by. Right. And you find yourself outside? All right, then you know. You know what I mean? You got good name for you and you come back in the kingdom. Don't worry about it. All right, I'll keep reading.
Verse 7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, come and see.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death.
Mm-hmm.
And hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death,
mm-hmm.
and with the beast of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 9.
Right. So now this horse, he's just bringing death everywhere.
Right.
Just death. Whether with suffering, whether with the sword,
right.
With diseases, plagues, it's death. He's bringing death. You know, how much you say die from COVID? Millions, I think. Yeah. Come on.
I would say with the COVID and what he say with the beast of the earth using using the sword and the hunger through them, like COVID came from the beast.
Well, also our so-called oppressor.
Right.
He's causing a lot of death right now. You understand? And he's a beast of the earth. Go ahead.
Oh, so like I said, if I could, I seen on Black Watch the other day that the COVID definitely did hit the police department.
Give COVID a hand. Give Officer COVID a hand. Officer COVID reports for duty. You know, man, he ain't, you know, I am the law. Them niggas didn't want to take no vaccine. They ain't scared to shoot, but they're scared of getting shot. Yeah, I ain't scared of no needle. The big and bad for every Negro, but a little needle, you don't want no part of it. Well, you know what that means? These neighborhoods gonna need somebody to police the neighborhood, and the UPK is conquering and going forth to conquer. You got a problem in DC? Listen, give me a call, man. Send the camera down there. Send the camera down. You can come on the car like this. All right, who needs to go to Children's Hospital? That's about the only place they could get stitches after. Get the point? Don't worry about it. The Lord is, as you say, He's setting the stage for this thing to come the right way. You understand? Go ahead.
Revelation 6.
Because let me know when you're ready. I think we're gonna organize Itawab. Yeah, we're gonna organize. We're gonna take him tonight, all right? So you can go ahead and roll whenever you're comfortable to roll. Right? Good.
Verse 9. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. Verse 10. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?
All right, what does that say? Come on.
So, like, if I may, sir, this is referring to the priests and prophets of old who were murdered by our oppressor for the sake of Christ.
That's it. Right, because we under the altar. Once again, this is talking about the priesthood.
Right.
The men who kept their garments.
Right.
You get the point? The men who in the work of the Lord hurt not the oil and the wine.
Right.
When the horsemen riding, they get an order to not hurt the oil and the wine. And then he look under the altar and he see the souls of them who were killed.
Right.
Meaning in the past. Right? Peter was what? Beheaded by, I think, Nero Caesar. John the Baptist was beheaded. Can't say John, he didn't follow Christ. Stephen was stoned. Who else? John, Christ's brother, I think, was beheaded too. A lot of them brothers got killed horribly. You know what I mean? Got killed horribly. This job we do, this is not for the faint of heart. These brothers met horrible death. All right? Then they killed us. And they lived. The scripture says, hurt not the oil and the wine. Now is our time to live and watch them die. Now is not the time for us to die. And you hear brothers saying all the time, man, if I join y'all, man, if I come on that corner, they're going to kill me. You say, y'all got to be strapped on the corner. No, Negro, we ain't strapped and we ain't going to die. You get the point? Now it's time for them to die. Right? If we die, the Lord did it. The Lord took a brother or took a sister. Now's your time to get shot. Now's your time to catch COVID and die. How many people got COVID in here since the pandemic? You're looking strong as hell. Give yourself a hand. How many of you thought you was going to die? How many of you start praying and repenting? Lord, whatever I did, that COVID kick your ass out. It said, listen, we have a saying in Trinidad, you're going to know which God is serving in that day. Yeah, that COVID hit me. I knew exactly who to call. I was like, make peace. But you alive, You alive. That ain't happening with you. You get the point? Children catching COVID and they living. You can't tell the story about your rib if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, like
please.
I remember that caught COVID she already worked in the hospital, so she had caught COVID like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Her and the Hamite, her and the Hamite about the same age.
And they're on the same shift.
They kind of something like on the same floor,
right?
Or something like that. So that night, my rib wasn't feeling good, so she went down to the emergency room. She already there at the hospital.
But they both wasn't feeling good at the same time. I believe.
Around
right?
the same week.
Go ahead.
The same week. My rib went down to the emergency room. The Hamite decided to go home. So my rib survived, and the Hamite died.
Why your rib went to the emergency room?
My rib did not want to go. None of them. They didn't want to go because it was going to take too long. My rib went down
because say it.
Because I told her.
Yes. Give him a hand.
Her Lord told her.
That's right. And then we use their politician. That's right. That's right. She did not want to go, but a man of the Lord, a priest, who did not put up his garments, he kept his garments. He told her what to do. Say, go and take your tail down there to that ER and call me when you get down there. Go ahead.
So, she was good. Like 4 days later, she was having real trouble.
The ER took care of her. They sent her home with a certain stuff, whatever. Go ahead.
They took her home. They gave her the prescriptions and everything for like a breathing machine and all that. Went home. The 4th day, she was having her lungs was like real clogged with like mucus and stuff. She was having real issues breathing. So that night, she thought she was going to die. I thought she was going to die.
But in between, you were telling her to do certain things and she didn't want to listen.
Right, that's what it was. So like I'm like, yo, like.
So it's not like she just ended up there. Yeah, she listened the first time and she thought, well maybe I don't need to listen here. But that's not the point of the story. The Hamite take me somewhere else. You get back to the Hamite. Tell me about Hamburg.
So once my rib was good and healed and everything, she went back to work. And the people at work was like, yeah, you and this other woman both were sick the same week. But she didn't go to the emergency room. She did not go to the ER. She went straight home, and she died.
What? Get out of here! Well, I saw the song. Let's go, money fall on you. COVID-19 fall on you. That's what happens. That's what happens. You get the point? They both work in the hospital, in the same shift, same floor. Got sick around the same time. They both knew each other, knew of each other. One went home to a priest and is alive. The other one went home and was dead. Them Hamites was dancing with the coffin. Them Hamites with the coffin on there and get busy. Now, what does that mean? That we trust in our oppressor's medicine? What is the lesson to learn from this? Simple.
Follow the counsel from the priest of the Lord.
Follow what comes out of the mouth of the priest of the Lord.
Right.
Nekamiah's words saved that sister.
Right.
Not the medicine, not the breathing machine, not the ER. His words saved that sister. What's the proof?
The Hamite died.
Well, the Hamite died. I'll give you another thing. But she went home. So somebody might say, well, she didn't got treated. Colin Powell, where he died? Who? Oh, meaning without care? How he died? Under extreme care.
Right.
He was high rank, how much stars he had? Like 3 or something? 4. God damn.
And you vaccinated too.
Well, that's true. But he's a 4-star general getting the best medical care he could get. And he still died. Why? Because the priest of the Lord said, come and serve the Lord and leave Esau's military, and he didn't listen. You get the point? Like people hear us say, go take the vaccine, go see a doctor, and immediately say, because they're carnal, that you trusting in the oppressor's medicine. No, Negro, I'm trusting in the words of a prophet. That's what it is. It's Christ telling Peter, walk off the boat. Does Peter have some kind of special power? No, he listened. And the minute he stopped listening, he sank. That's what this job is. This job is not, it's about faith. That's it. And faith without works is dead. You get told to do something, nigga, get to doing the goddamn thing, man. Get to doing it and stop thinking. Thinking is damn near satanic in context. Don't nobody misquote me and say some of that dumb shit. But in context, thinking is damn near satanic. What you thinking about? How long you been thinking? Anybody? Dawada, how long you been thinking? Your whole life. How was it? Glorious? No. Right? Since how long y'all been thinking? Huh? Since you knew what a Barbie doll was, right? How was your life? You went to the moon yet? No. You invent something yet? No. Mm-mm. When did you start living?
When I stopped thinking and just doing.
When you come in here and Shamai, raise your hand. We're all black. Says quiet. Shaquat. Listen. Wear a skirt. Cover your head. Stand like this. Not like this. I'm turning backwards with the camera here. When you started doing that, your life just went in a different direction. Right. Now, is that because the phone is evil? Or other colors are evil? No. It's because you honored what a prophet said. You understand? That's how it works. That's how it works. You get the point? So that I'm saying that just to say this has nothing to do with medical care. This has to do with that sister's obedience to her husband. Give her a hand. You get the point? That has to do with her obedience to her husband when she was facing death. She thought she was going to die, and guess what? If she did not listen to him, she would have been dead. She would have been dead. I ain't gonna, because I tell you some things he's thinking. I ain't gonna say I ain't gonna repeat it. But you get the point. You understand? Like he listen, and it's a terrifying thing to be in his shoes because he can't panic. He can't show the panic. He has to remember his garment. You get the point? He can't go into husband mode. He went into priest mode, which is different. And priest mode is not husband mode. It's not that. Come on.
Yeah, right. And then, like I said, when she got home, the fourth day, I was having issues with her breathing. Had to go to when she thought she was going to die tonight, I did. As soon as she went to the hospital, I'm like, okay, well, both of them she was going to die. And I'm like, well, I got these 3 boys. I'll be a single father now.
Listen, he done making this easy. I was trying not to say this shit.
I'm just like, okay, all right, so I'm just thinking on what's going to be next.
Listen,
I'm not crying.
You know what he was doing? He was to conquer. Yeah. He was conquering, and now it's to conquer. What did he not do?
He didn't panic.
He didn't panic. There's something else.
He didn't stop.
He didn't what?
He did not stop.
Stop what?
Figuring out the next move.
That's true. Something else. You want it? We had to explain that. I want to play. You close?
You didn't stop wearing this down.
That's true. So that's already.
Stop. I was gonna say the same thing that we done.
What would another man in his shoes do right away?
Is it blame the Most High?
Give her a hand. Oh, smoking tonight. This is a good drink I'm drinking here. That's what Christians do. Christians immediately blame the Lord. Why me, Lord? Didn't I serve you?
No, this is what made me think of the movie I Fell in Love with a Church Girl. He was really like pulling the God up like he's somebody like. Did y'all see that movie?
Yeah.
He was like God, like
who was in it?
Ja Rule, but he was talking to God.
I'm trying to stay away from it. You think that's I've seen every Denzel movie except The Preacher's Wife. I would never watch that because it's about church. You get it, boy? I don't care what he played in it. That nigga can play Jesus. I'm not watching that bullshit. But Officer Nakama did not blame the Lord. He proceeded to plan on how to continue serving the Lord, which you'll only find in the UPK. You would absolutely find in the UPK. If, Lord forbid, if his rib was to die, who took her? The Lord. And he did not prepare to blame the Lord. He didn't start to ask the Lord what's up. He started to plan for his sons because he knew he did his job as a priest and a husband. And then everything he did right, and she listened and she went. If it was the Lord's will, it's the Lord's will. But you know what? These boys here, boom, how to make the camp, bam, bam, bam. Who knows? The Lord probably, hey, pull that angel right back. This brother here, he passed that test, boy. Nigga passed that test. I told you I raising a cold-blooded soldier right here. This nigga right here. But give me my hand, man. I can't take credit for him. The fucking shit. That's the son right there. Go ahead,
I would say, Sloggy, but when did you catch up?
Huh?
What time? Around what time?
I caught COVID before anybody knew what the fucking hell COVID was.
I just want to make sure I didn't give it to you.
It was December 2019. Nah, I'll probably give it to y'all. I didn't know. But I can tell you, when I got off of that shit, I went to camp and had one of the most glorious camps ever. God damn, I felt alive. It was just before they locked the country down. It was December 2019. I didn't know what it was. I was sick bad. I was dizzy, falling down, all type of shit. Ash was begging me to go to the hospital. I mean, begging. And Ash don't do shit like that just randomly. And he looked very panicked. And I was like, nah, I'm all right. I thought it was probably just a bad cold. It was not a bad cold. How I knew? When I got the vaccine, I got the same symptoms. And I didn't panic because I'm, okay, this is what it feels like. People who panic when they get the vaccine is because the symptoms from COVID is so extreme, they think they're going to die. But I already, felt I was going to die. So this was, cakewalk. Go ahead.
I had got the first vaccine shot. It didn't do anything to me. The only thing I did was make my arm a little sore.
Yeah, it do that. That's most vaccines do that. What probably happened, your body still had antibodies from when you had it before. The antibodies could last, I think, 6 months to a year or 3 months to a year after. Something like that.
COVID, I think I started feeling it when I was at the Passover, down Texas.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I had left and came back.
And when he came back, as soon as he was good, he went straight and get the vaccine, right?
No.
So when you got the vaccine?
I just went and got the vaccine because I had got hired to do slavery, and it was mandatory. And I was like,
so you was waiting till they get COVID again?
No.
I surely thought after you got COVID the first time you would have run and get the vaccine. Brother, after I realized what it was, I was like, I was watching the papers just to realize when they get out. They was doing it in alphabetical order first. I was like, yeah, just tell me when they reach here. I was waiting. I didn't care if I had to pay for that bitch, nothing. I knew what the hell I felt like. And I understand that the priest of the Lord said, go get the vaccine. Right? I was going to get the shit.
it was my bronchitis fucking with me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I thought a ton of things out. Namely sin. I was like, Lord, there got to be some sin in me because this shit here. I'm talking about falling down, not realizing you're about to fall out. Go ahead.
It's like if I bet too, sir, and you are a hypocrite and you are wicked as hell if you know you're an Israelite and you listen to everything Commander YAHANNA said on them street corners and in them classes, and then you turn around and doubt what he said when it comes to this. Like, you are a coward, you're a hypocrite,
don't worry.
And you're not fit to Christ's work.
Listen, COVID take the cops' jobs. You think he ain't gonna take your job? COVID ain't taking mine though.
Right.
Listen, I took the vaccine so I could get on a plane.
Right.
So I could jump on the plane like Uber. Yeah. Your Uber's outside. No shit. Go ahead.
Sadaki, sir, I know you asked if we had any questions earlier. Mm-hmm. Is there any way, maybe later on that I can ask you?
You can ask a question. No, I think we got on the horseman, right?
No, I think we was reading the last scripture on it, I think.
With the under the altar, that was the point I was bringing up. Okay. How the Lord is going to protect the priests who work. Right. The priests who work for him. You get the point? Which is the priest in the UPK. Right. That's the priesthood of the Lord. You get the point? Commander General YAHANNA is in charge of that priesthood. Right. And we are going forward to conquering and to conquer like nobody else. Right. I haven't seen nobody else in the news for doing shit. Right. Commander General YAHANNA went to the Supreme Court for the right to use amplified devices in DC, I think in 2005 or 6. So everybody in DC who speaks with a microphone or a megaphone is because of Commander General YAHANNA. Right. They took us to court. Give him a hand. So what? They took the school to court. They told the general, hey, we're going to lock you up. General said, well, then lock us up. Then they back off and say, no, we're going to write you a citation. Say, yeah, we'll take that too to go to court. And for a few weeks, they spoke without the device because they went to court. And the Supreme Court said, yeah, they had the right to speak on the street with amplified sound below a certain decibel. He took Liberty Place to court in Philadelphia. Liberty Place had a $250,000 lawyer team and case. They were suing the I.S.U.P.K for whatever the hell because we were speaking outside of their mall. I think the general and them had a lawyer. They scrape up to barely about $10,000, something like that. They went to court. The judge said what these men believe in is sacrosanct. Anybody know what sacrosanct means? Come on.
I believe it's protected by the Bill of Rights, by the Constitution.
It's protected because it's sacred. Because this is something they believe that they could prove.
Right.
Which is why we teach everything from the Bible with precept on precept and not from your own head.
Right.
Because we could go and prove we don't hate white people. God does. You remember when they asked him that? Why do you hate white people? He said, listen, we don't hate white people. God does.
Right.
What we believe is in this book.
Right.
And I have a right to say it because this is religious rights.
Right.
Liberty Place got shut down, spent $250,000 for nothing. Give him a hand. That was on the news. That was on NBC. Mark Batcher from NBC went and interviewed Commander General YAHANNA up in his school. What's the other one? The one who pulled up on Chapar, I forget his name.
Just Jackson.
No, that's Punayala, right? Up in Minnesota. He pulled up on Jesse Jackson, right? He pulled up on him and checked him, and Jesse Jackson like, what? Right? I forget the other one in Philly. Pulled up on Chapar and asked him about Donald Trump. Vice came and do a whole thing on us. And of course, recently with Fox News, when there's some fools from some fake Israelite group shot the people in New Jersey. ABC News, NBC came down and interviewed Commander General YAHANNA. Why? Because that's the priesthood of the Lord. They didn't go anywhere else. They went to the priesthood of the Lord. You think the Romans didn't know who to go to? Why the Romans didn't go to John the Baptist? Because he wasn't Christ. That's why. They wanted Christ, because that's the priesthood. They come to Commander General YAHANNA because this is the priesthood of the Lord. You get the point? Come on. Yeah, please, go ahead. Anybody cold can do it. You can trim this fan here too. This one on the outside string. You can trim it back, all right? There's one. To water. Nah, it's good. Hold on. One more time.
I might even put it over, yeah.
All right, no sweat. You can hit the door too, all right?
Some chemical science.
Huh?
Say, we need some chemical science.
Some what?
Some chemical science.
What the fuck is that? Careful in that. Careful. You don't need nothing but to obey the priest of the Lord. Go ahead. You ready to roll? No sure that you have to jump that. Drive safe, all right? Okay, any more questions? Sitting in the camera, you're good there, right? The four horsemen, they riding simultaneously at the same time, separately. It's all happening, you know. Vision, damn near at the same time it's happening, all right? Go ahead,
Sadaki in Ephesians 6 and 9, when it says like ye obey the master, is it talking about like when it says the head of every man is Christ? And
walk you and young man, walk with Bakwash. All right, somebody hold the shimon. Go ahead, up.
Salaki, I would say it in Ephesians 6 and 9 when it says the head of and ye masters do the same. I'm at, is it like where it says that the head of every man is Christ and the head of
scripture, yeah?
Ephesians 6 and 9.
Please.
And ye masters do the same unto them, forbearing, threatening, knowing that your master also is in heaven, neither is the respect of persons with him. So when it says masters, is it talking about the person that is above you?
Yes.
Come.
Who else masters would be? Who else could it be?
The reason why I asked that, Salaki, was because I had seen it, and I was like, well, masters must be the person that's above you. You know, because I think with Christians, they think that master means like, they automatically subject themselves to thinking master means white people.
Right.
That's not reality.
No sweat. You give me Ephesians 1:1. This is just for you, in case anybody tried to say this is for everybody. All right. Who wrote the book of Ephesians? Young man.
Slot, sir.
Who wrote Ephesians?
Slot.
You not sure?
I'm not sure.
No sweat. Go ahead and read. Ephesians 1:1.
Ephesians 1:1. Paul.
Say it again.
Paul.
Say it again.
Paul.
Go ahead.
An apostle of Jesus Christ by the will of God to the saints, which are the Ephesus.
Which are what?
Ephesus.
No, read it one more time. To the saints. To the saints.
To the saints which are at Ephesus, and to the faithful in Christ Jesus.
All right. So it says Paul, an apostle of Christ, to the saints at Ephesus. What is Ephesus? If it's at Ephesus, if it's Paul to the saints at Ephesus, what is Ephesus?
Ephesus is the place that
is a place that the saints is at. Right? Who are the saints?
The men of the Lord.
How you proving it? You right? How you proving it?
The saints can only.
So I'm telling it in Psalms, right? Somebody find the scripture in Psalms for it. There's a scripture in Psalms that tells you who the saints are. That's what you would need for this. You can hold right there. I'm just giving it to you for after. But Paul is writing these letters from prison. And this letter is to one of his schools in Ephesus. And the people from Ephesus would be called Ephesians. Like you from Washington, D.C., they call you a what? Washingtonian. The people from Ephesus was called Ephesians. Corinthians, the book Corinthians, was a letter Paul wrote to the school in Corinth. So the people in Corinth was called Corinthians. Rome, the book Romans is Paul and the apostles to the Romans, the people who living in Rome, the Israelites. You get the point? Go ahead.
It's like I don't want to get ahead of myself.
No sweat.
But so Paul was basically locked up for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, kind of sort of. Kind of sort of. You understand? But for the majority of this New Testament, the majority of it is letters from prison. Right. The majority of it. Because he did not do what? Who paying attention?
He did not put down his garment.
He did not put on his garment. He kept his garment.
Right.
Get the point? Come on.
All right. We got Psalm chapter 50, verse 5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice.
Right? Gather my saints together with me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. Go ahead. I was going to say something?
So I had another one too in Psalm.
All right, I'm coming to you. By sacrifice. Who did the Lord make a covenant with by sacrifice? Abraham. Right. Abraham is the forefather of what? Isaac and Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel. Right. The 12 tribes of Israel are the saints. Right? Go ahead.
Psalms chapter 148, verse 14. He also exalted the horn of his people.
Say it again.
He also exalted the horn of his people.
Of his people. Go ahead.
The praise of all his saints.
The praise of all his saints. Who are his saints? His people. Who are the Lord's people? Israel. Right? That's who the saints are. Paul is writing to the saints in Ephesus. Okay. You get the point? Oh, it's lucky. Come on.
No sweat, sir. Even the children of Israel.
Even the children of Israel. That's who his saints are. Right? So when you talk about a saint is an Israelite. Right? An Israelite, specifically an Israelite in the work of the Lord who died. Right? Oh no, I think it's living or dead. Living or dead could be a saint. Right? So all the Catholic Church saints are not saints. They're just not. Right? They're pedophiles, but they're not saints. Go ahead.
And the fact that you say living or dying, because the patience of the saints.
Here is the patience of the saints. See in the camera.
It's living because the real saints, like we live
time.
We live in
time.
And we not gonna kill.
So you gonna come up here? Go ahead.
We live in right now a usual with all the things we see. Oppression makes wise men angry. Mm-hmm. So every man and woman in the UPK is angry, but we're not reacting to it. We're not shooting up no Capitol. We're not storming the Capitol. We're not shooting no policemen.
We ain't raping no woman on no subway.
Raping no woman on no subway, but we having patience because we know the Lord is going to put our oppressor in chains.
That's right, and that is the patience and the faith of the saints. You get the point? Boom. Any more questions? We're going to the topic. Okay, boom. So now,
So I did have a question. I had two questions actually. So look,
go ahead.
They both in Revelations. The first one is in Revelation chapter 9. It's going into like the angels, where it says in verse 11, Revelation chapter 9, verse 11, and they had a king over them. Verse 11 is where it says, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. So in verse 11, it's talking about it says and they had
Revelation
9 and 11. Come. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue it hath his name Apollyon. In this scripture, like I guess it's a two-part question. That bottomless pit, like I know we speak of like the sky crack. So like where's the bottomless pit then? Or what is it referring to then, I should say?
Okay. Come on, you want to try?
Yeah. You said something about this before some months ago. I put a mark right beside it. It's World War III.
Okay,
that scripture's a couple verses down.
Yeah.
One was past verse 12. That's the next verse.
Okay, this bottomless pit here is okay. World War III, the Lord is pulling them all into a pit that they'll never get out of. So it's considered like a bottomless pit. They'll never the valley of Jehoshaphat. Right. This year, the king of the bottomless pit. The bottomless pit is like a grave or a hole, right, which Israel traditionally calls hell. Did I ever do that hell breakdown for y'all? Sheol? I'll probably do it next week, all right? Right? The history of the hell we know of as a fiery bottomless pit, it comes from a poem called Dante's Inferno. However, the heathens heard us talk about hell or Sheol, and they think when we say, okay, we have a saying like, last week in basketball court, how you felt? You was?
I felt like I was in hell.
How you felt? Yeah, when everybody who had COVID, how you felt? Like you was in hell, right? Does that mean you was on fire and burning up and some nigga poking you? You get the point? It's you feel like you're in hell. You get the point? You get some old child support case for some slut. You feel like you in hell. You know what I mean? You a sister, you in some horrible situation, and that sister on the train. Can you imagine that shit? And we gonna get to that. Some I think he a Hamite. That name sound a little bit, Hambo. Some nigga, proceed to rape you on the train and people looking. That got to be a violation in itself. Right. It's one thing to happen in some dumpster in some dark alley with nobody. Right. But people there's a certain expectation. Right. Nigga, you start filming me, I'll light up everybody in the train. It's a lot there. It should
definitely be a law, like
a charge, right?
For the charge for the witnesses. Like if you got 6, 10, 20 people on the train with you, 10 people, at least 10 people watching you get raped on the train, and y'all in the same cart.
Listen, a good lawyer is gonna make a case out. A good lawyer is gonna make an accomplice case with that shit. You get the point? However, that's my point. That's my topic. I want to get to that. But chill, right? I'm gonna go into the breakdown of it. We say we in hell to describe how we feel. You get the point? How we feel. The heathens hear how we talk, see how we talk, see how we do things, and they bastardize everything. Right? So they hear us say that. Hey, where's so-and-so, man? He in hell. You say that heathen think, oh, well, this nigga done dead in the grave. Yep. Meanwhile, you're talking about his, spiritual condition. Right. You get the point? So here, this is talking about the king of that spiritual condition. Right.
Okay, come.
So who is the king of hell, as we know it? Bottomless pit. Say it how you say that count. No, say it how you say that count. Say it how you say that count. That was the time.
That's stinking.
That's stinking. We right. You're wrong. You get the point? That's who's the king of the bottomless pit. Satan. Right. You get the point? Go ahead.
To the water on that one, I just had one more question.
And Abaddon is destruction. Right? The name in Hebrew, Abaddon, is destruction or to destroy, or Apollyon. Right. like apocalypse. Apollyon is, or that's it in the Greek.
It's like
Yeah, in the Greek it's Apollyon, in the Hebrew it's Abaddon.
the brother.
I'm a prophet, yes.
Salaki, the brother in Jamaica.
His name is
Abaddon.
Abaddon. That's the Hebrew for Abaddon, to destroy.
Right.
You understand?
So, like, if I could, on one more question as well, I know you're gonna get on your topic. In chapter 10, right in the first 4 verses, just skipping down to verse 4, when I guess John was recording this, and this angel, had that book open, one foot was on the water, one foot was on the land.
You gotta read it too,
okay,
please, if you don't mind.
Chapter 10, verse 1. And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face was as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. Verse 2. And he had in his hand a little book open.
You are 10 and what?
10 and 2 now, sir.
Okay, so go ahead.
Verse 2. And he had in his hand a little book open, and he set his right foot upon the sea, and his left foot on the earth. And he cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roared. And when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices. Verse 4. And when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, seal up those things which the 7 thunders uttered, and write them not. My question in verse 4, like that recording of what he didn't write up, is this something that we'll experience, or that will it'll be revealed like in this time?
What he did not write?
Yeah, when the voice from heaven told him don't write this part down, to seal up those things which the 7 thunders uttered, and write them not. This part that he was told to pause his writing, don't write this part. That part right there that wasn't written, is that something that will be revealed to us in that time?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I have my notes right here, but I can't remember this. It might be in the same chapter. However, this is a good precept for your editing. You get the point? If anybody don't use that. Use that. You get the point? That's this right here. So there's just like in the Bible it mentions the book of Joshua. But the book of Joshua is not in the Bible. It's just, I'm keeping this, I'm not keeping that. Right. That's, selective. All right. I can't remember how to read this whole thing. I have the notes here with it, but I don't want to speculate. I haven't read chapter 10 in a while. All right. I could definitely check it for you. Either it's sealed up for a certain time, after, like Daniel, when he said the book is sealed and it'll be open in the latter days, or it's something that the Lord don't even let him hear nothing about that. You know what I mean? Could be. You don't need to know everything. What do you need to do? That's it. Life is simple. Life is good. I ain't got no red bottoms, but life is good.
The commandments are not grievous.
The commandments not grievous. Get the point? All right. So that was it. Any more questions? La? Okay. So I want to send you an article, right, bro? You're able to read, because you might have to play the videos too. You able to read it, or I can send it to somebody else?
I do have a video.
No sweat. Let me you found the video?
The one on Fox 29 that was on the DC page.
Yes, 2 of them. All right. Because I hold that one. I hope I sent you the right one. What is it? Is it a Fox story?
It's Fox.
All right. So what? Let's hold that one. All right. So now this week you had a few things. You have sister got raped and trained on Monday in Philadelphia. I think they arrested the dude, or they got on down there by 69th and Market, which is a block away from the school in Philly. So this thing went on for like 8 minutes. The cops responded in 3, but of course the media trying to say the cops didn't respond fast enough. The cops is saying, well, them niggas on the train didn't call. It was some train conductor who called. Right? The niggas on the train was just filming. I don't know what they thought. If they thought that was her boyfriend. If they thought, that's just how niggas get down now. It's a whole decay of our society. Right. That's really what it is. It's this whole thing here is that woman is Israel. If you want to see it in the spirit. That woman is Israel, and she was violated before everybody, right, and they pull out phones. Just like what happens to us in real life, nobody gives a damn. Right. You get the point? Everybody know about Levi on the border, but the Afghans get to come. Everybody know about I.S.U.P.K on the border, but the Afghans get to come. The Chinese get to come. Right? The brother in D.C. a couple months ago who they beat up somewhere down there in Southeast, I think, and say he had a gun on him, punched him in his face, break his eye socket. Right? But yesterday, the FBI raided some Russian billionaire up there in Northwest, and then put their picture up, then put the address up, then say what the charges is, they ain't beat nobody. You get the point? Like, we get to get violated before the world, and everybody looks at it because we are the caged animal. We the lion in the circus. We perform. We the elephant in the circus, and anytime the elephant or the lion acts out, well, what the hell is wrong with you? You get the point? That's who we are. If you really want to take it what is happening spiritually, because everybody's asking the question, what's wrong with society? I listened to the radio this morning, I almost called and curse out, not Joe Play, whoever it is on 95.5 or whichever station, talking about what would you have done if you was there? And people was like, if I was there, I'd have did something. Some woman say, I have daughters, and I'd be damned, I would have stumped his ass out. I want to call him and say, bitch, you lying. You are lying. That nigga gets to rape that girl on the train, the same reason your pastor molesting people in the church. The same reason the sodomites on the choir. The same reason Eddie Long gets to have sex with them 5 boys and nobody said a goddamn thing. You playing R. Kelly right now. I know you're lying. You're lying. You would have watched too. You'd have watched and touch your purse and not get too close, and you wouldn't risk your life to save her, because you don't risk your life to save that little boy or girl who you know the pastor is having sex with. Who you know it. So you're lying. I know you're lying, and that's the reason why. You want to find out why that woman get raped and violated is because we now have become hooked on our own drug. Like, we provide a certain drug to America that's called entertainment. That's called shock and awe. Right? Whether it be glorified on the basketball court or the football field, or is some, high-speed shootout, or, some story, boys in the hood or something that's real life. We provide a certain drug for America that's called entertainment. You get the point? It's Squid Games. It's the Hunger Games. It's, give me some more. Give me some more that's just Israel. There's a movie a long time ago with I.S.U.P.K, somebody else, where they came out of prison. They came out of prison, and this rich man met them and said, I want you to carry my bags. We're going on a camping trip. And he carried them in the woods, but they was the prey. They hunted them. You get the point? Like, that's who we are, and we provide that to America. You get the point? We get hooked on our own drug because now we are fiending for the own entertainment we provide, whether it be in the court or whether it be in raw form. And somebody get their brains blown out. You see videos of brothers getting shot in apartment buildings, and the whole apartment is out and just videotaping and laughing. And just don't give it down. Like, we done get hooked on the drug. We don't use anything we supply. You get the point? So that's what's going on. The UPK can help you with that, Chief Conti. They're asking DC Police Chief Conti, what's the problem in DC police ranks? Because they're up there down there raping them female cadets. Listen, you woman, you female officer, next time y'all come to camp to ask us some, bring a man. Because you in danger on that job and you don't report nothing. But I call you white man the devil and you want to shut my camp down. Leave me to hell alone. Leave me to shame on you goddamn officers, man. You the reason DC is the way it is. You wouldn't police your own locker room. You wouldn't police your own cadet force. But you want to come and tell me something? Let's give me the story, please. You'll ride with me a little bit tonight, all right? Go ahead.
3 former police cadets are accusing DC police of abuse and retaliation.
So, hold on. Let's stop right there. Give me the Philly first. And we'll come back to DC, all right? Just play it nice and loud. Hopefully everybody can hear.
This is the first video on Fox 29, sir.
That'll work. Just make sure it's on the screen too, all right? That's right. Is this on Facebook? Go to the DC page. The 2 videos is on there. And there's an ad there. You niggas ain't sending me no money. What the hell are they putting ads on my shit for? Right? Stop right there. People need to speak up when they see a crime happening in front of them. But when these crooked cops, they have the blue wall of silence. They don't say these cops need to speak up. Have you ever heard the media come out and say more cops need to come out and snitch? So why the hell people need to come out? Like, you can't selectively decide when to be righteous. You can't now, once again, you gotta keep your garment. If you want me to come out and say something, then who you respect more than me, you should require more from them. Them cops need to come out and say who's selling drugs, who prostituting them girls. You remember some years ago, it was some cop who was running a sex ring in DC with some young girls, and I think a drug ring. He was part of a case. He went to Baltimore for a night to drink with some friend and got his brains blown out. You don't remember that? You can look it up. Some DC cop, he was supposed to witness in court the same week and got shot in the head in Baltimore, and they didn't find who shot him. Huh?
So, Dr. Sir, if I could,
Please.
it just came out this year that in 2006, a black officer that said that the white police, it was 3 white police that killed the black person. They basically beat him to death.
Right.
He said something about it and talked to the dudes, and they fired him. And they fired him because he was not supposed to say nothing.
That's everywhere. Right now, I think that in is it Louisiana or Mississippi? There's some brother fighting for his job because he came out and said, "Come on."
That's California.
No, not Cali. I think it's in the South though. They beat the brother to death.
Louisiana.
I think it's Louisiana. They beat the brother to death. And the body cam show you how they cursing him out and shut his mouth and you know, F you nigga. And I mean, they beat him with them flashlights and that nightstick out, and he died. And this cop key come out and say exactly what the hell was happening and what's been happening in the force and how they trained them to be more brutal, and they fired him. And they fired him for some dumb nonsense, and he's fighting and he's saying more of y'all need to come out. Why does it take to when they and listen, big respect to the brother for coming out, but I wonder what made you come forward. That's what I wonder, because oftentimes I find out only when they attack your pockets, now you have a conscience. When you see the first brother get his wig split, you're supposed to then realize what's going on. Furthermore, you're supposed to then hear Commander Johnny YAHANNA say, get out of that police force and leave. But now and he wants to go back to it. He wants his job back. He want to go back. He said because there are plenty good guys in there. One bad apple spoils the whole bunch, I'm sorry to say. One bad apple spoils the whole bunch, and that's what you say with us? You know what I mean? You're riding in a car, and one nigga got weed in the car. Do they take him and let everybody go? Drive home safe, guys. Y'all have fun now. Do stop at the red light. Do they say that? Nah, everybody's squatting on the side of the road. Right. That's how they do us. So now, if that's the case, then all you cops, I'm looking in DC now, y'all suspect. Right. Y'all real suspect. Yep. Keep going, bro. Stop right there. SEPTA is defending their stance again and saying the passengers, if you see something wrong, help them. What's the first rule to being in leadership?
You cannot blame others. You got to take the fall for
Everything is your fault. That's the first rule. Right. Everything is your fault, even if you wasn't there. Ask Michael Vick, who went and do them years for somebody else dog fighting in his house when he wasn't even in the same state. You understand? That's the first rule to being in charge. And this is not to say that he deserves to go to jail or anything like that, but I'm just using this for an example. Right. The first rule of being in charge is it's your fault. SEPTA ain't take no blame. They're trying to defend themselves. This is our fault. We need to vet. We need to make tighter security. Had that been a white woman getting raped, SEPTA would have been. We doing everything now. We beefing up security. And listen, I'm going to the mayor to issue these new smart trip cards with IDs so we could pinpoint, felons and sex criminals and blah, 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 blah. You get the point? Keep going. Now stop right there. They say it was horrendous and the people just stand by watching. But when these cops murder brothers and the people take up to, beat them cops' ass, what do they say about us?
Salaki, if I could, they say that he used to sell drugs.
No, I'm talking not the brother who the cops shoot. I'm talking about when the cops try to, rough house a brother or, then shot somebody and trying to leave the scene and the neighborhood gathers on the cops. Like what happened in New Jersey sometime, right? The neighborhood gather. What do they say about the neighborhood who gathers? What do they say about us as a people? Like what happened in Milwaukee, is it Wisconsin? I think it's some other city. Some other city, not Wisconsin, Milwaukee. I forget exactly where the brother got shot. He had a license to carry, and his brother went on the TV and cried. And he said, y'all call us thugs, y'all call us this, y'all call us that. He said, y'all want to know why the city burning? Because y'all wrong. You're wrong. We be lawful and y'all don't care. What do they say when we come out now to stand up against the cops? Savage. They call us savage. Right. And we unlawful. Right. When we standing up for justice. Right. Now, you want us to stand up for justice now? Like how much mixed messages you gonna send? Right. Either we standing for right or we not standing at all. Right. How much mixed messages will you send to us? Which is why you cannot put you really, this is more reason you cannot put faith in the oppressor. You have to put faith in the words from the prophet of the Lord. Right. You have to listen to what the man of the Lord telling you. Because the cops murder our brother, bam, nah, he can't go nowhere. Listen, he did it, he shot him. He back up, savages, pepper spray, sent on the reserve and the task force and the SWAT. Right. Sister get raped, well, y'all say we can't intervene. Not giving these people a pass, but I'm trying to show you how this is just an unrighteous kingdom. This is an absolutely unrighteous kingdom. You can't bridle our righteousness when it's convenient to you. Yeah. If we were to fall on this African one, Ham had to claim this one. Ham gonna claim this one here. That's right. If we had to fall on this Hamite here who raped his sister, then we should be able to fall on them damn cuffs. And I ain't telling nobody go fall on the cuffs. I'm using it to show you the double standard. Right. You get the point where I'm using it to show you this evil society we live on truly under the devil. Go ahead.
One of the things that's not coming out in the news is after in DC where they beat the brother and then pulled the gun off of him, they make sure they get facial recognition of everybody who threw a trash can, who did something or yelled at the police, and they go back days and weeks later and make sure they
harass them and beat them and all kind of nonsense. Exactly. And what they was doing was a full-out violation. That cop broke that brother's eye socket arc. Right. For what? Because he talking shit. You have him in cuffs already. Right. So he can't run his mouth. What you say against you, what you say can be used against you in the court of law. Well, all right then. Just Your Honor, he said this, that, the other. You think they record the shit you're saying, and they ask you in court, did you say this? Yes. Okay. Yes. You ain't got to break the brother's eye socket. Right. But now when we rise up against injustice, it's a problem. And now you want us to do this? Right. Philly burnt down the city, the last brother they damn killed. Right. I don't even think it was in Philadelphia. What was that for? What shooting was that? I can't even remember. It was a verdict or something. But Philly tore the whole city up. Them cops was running. You think it's not in us to seek justice? But when we seek it, you tell us we're wrong. So now you want to come now and blame black people because they didn't act, and it's your fault, oppressor. We under you. You in charge. If them people are not trained, did not do something, it's because they serve the white man. Right. Because their religion is Christianity. Right. In here, this is something different, though. Right. In here, there would be a whole GoFundMe now for the bail or for the lawyers, and general done cutting the check. Ain't no sweat, brother. You good. You did what you had to do. Free so-and-so, free officer so-and-so, because he done put that hammer to death. Right. I'm telling you straight up and down, Israel ain't watching that happening. I.S.U.P.K officers is not watching that happening. First of all, we walk into a place, people get nervous. He would not have been that courageous. Right. We walk into a place, it's a problem. Any club we go into, the bouncers done, listen, we got a problem. Right. Bouncers start coming out the down woodwork like the fucking nigga from Matrix. Yeah. Mr. Anderson. Well, Mr. Anderson just running down the stairs. All over. And it's just, we can't get a drink? No. They all say no. Because we make people nervous. One brother on the train just looking, he would have go somewhere else. The rape might have still happened, just not in front of the Lord's face. You get the point? It's just that's just the presence we command, and that's once again this is the priesthood of the Lord. These things is happening because the wicked are in rulership. You get the point? They should hand over Philadelphia to Command Johnny Hanna. They should hand over DC to the I.S.U.P.K. We're gonna run this. We've been running it forever. We've been running this stuff and cleaning up DC streets, and they want to stop us from talking. They want to stop us from talking the same way they stop these sisters from talking. And I'm going to read that article. It's some vile shit going on in DCPD cadets, boy. They like to march them cadets up in front of the camp in their little khaki suits and shit, like if they're so good. Meanwhile, they're violating these young girls. Right? Listen, now, don't come to camp this Saturday. I'm going to shame you. I am going to shame you. Go ahead. Come on, Slack in the camera.
Right, and if I could pull a quick precept, like, you know what I'm saying? When the people see the work of the Lord and see the brothers that's truly following Christ, they always respect it and they learn, okay, they start to believe in the UPK.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always some forces against it, the Christianity, the cops. The cops don't want to give UPK the justice. We got to fight for justice against them and all that. And if it of course, like Christ said, you know what I'm saying? If they hate you, know that they hated me first.
Right.
So we got John 11, verse 45.
Go ahead.
Then many of the Jews which came to Mary and had seen the things which Christ did believed on him. But some of them went their ways to the Pharisees and told them what things Jesus had done. And then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, what do we? For this man doeth many miracles.
Mm-hmm.
If we let him,
And when they say, what do we? Meaning, this one dude, the chief priest, he went to the Pharisees. He's like, what are we going to do? That's what he's saying. There's always one influencing and leading the others. Right. Go ahead.
If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. Exactly.
That DC police chief Conti, he might have a good heart. He might, be staunch on crime. But I can see by what's in your house that you are not a good leader. Muriel Bowles, I can see by what's in your house. You pass a law to stop Asian hate and to protect these queers and transgenders and LGBT. Right. But these cadets who's supposed to be your future police officers, you allow them to be, brother, you would swear this is a strip house, a whorehouse. You would swear this is, one of them strip clubs in DC when Kazak read the article. I know, and this lets me know you're all those horrible leaders, and the UPK should be in charge. The UPK should get your budget and should get your office and should get your salary and your houses and your cars, and we should get it. And the Lord is going to give it to us. It's just a matter of time. We're getting it already. The Lord is going to give it to us, and in that day, you're going to really see how something's supposed to run, and you're going to know what justice really is. Right. You get the point? Keep playing the arm. Come on, you guys going to say something? Oh, Slappy, go ahead. Even they're pronouncing his name wrong. That name is it's spelled like a damn Hamite name. So somebody pull up the article. They say Christian Noid or something. That's a Hamite name. Somebody there.
Attack, which was relayed on radio about the attacker disrobing on a train at 56th Street Station.
He disrobing, meaning he taking off his damn clothes. I think the city sister got off work, went to some happy hour, had a couple of drinks or something. But that don't mean she needs to get violated. She probably just had a horrible day, like we all do have a horrible day. And she probably want to get a drink before she go home to them kids. Go ahead, Kazak.
It's like, sir. Yeah, his name is Fiston Ngoy.
Ngoy. He ain't say that though. He says he trying to make that nigga sound like he one of us. Ngoy. Oh, money fall on you.
You might be a prophet.
Listen now. Ain't no brother got to do that. no brother got to rape no sister. Listen, the way the rape should go in, brothers need protection right now. Brothers gonna come out like, what? Give me that thing. Put on the whole exhaust's voice for you and everything. Go ahead. Urge passengers to speak up when they see trouble. Well, we telling you which cop shot the brother. Exactly. And you tell us, no, you didn't see nothing. Right. And you harass us and pull us over like what was happening in Ferguson. Yep. Remember Ferguson when they murdered Michael Brown? His friend was speaking on Ferguson. I don't remember. He had a short brother with dreads who was with him in the store, walked with him, and was right there when Darren Wilson blew his brains up. Al Sharpton went down there. The next week, you hear how this friend have all kind of drug charges. Try to to discredit his story because he was a witness to what happened, and he was saying what Derek Chauvin saying happened did not happen because he was right there. And they decided to say, well, he didn't see nothing. He was high. All this type of nonsense. When we see something and we do say something, it's a problem. That brother was telling what's his name? The one who killed Michael, George Floyd. That's Chauvin. What's the other one who killed Michael Brown? I used to know his name. God damn. Somebody find his name, Mark. I don't like to forget these oppressors' names. That's Derek Chauvin. What's the one who killed Michael Brown, boy? Find his name for me, please. Darren Wilson. God damn, I know some D names. Right? Darren Wilson killed Michael Brown. The brother who was filming, he was telling Derek Chauvin, yo, stop doing that. He's telling the Asian, he telling Squid Games over there, do something about it. Right. And he just backing him up. And the brother was angry. The brother say, the brother and the sister, some young sister, who was also filming, she said she went to when she cried and she was so depressed after because she couldn't do something about it. Right. So when we want to do something, you threaten us. Yeah, right. Now, when it's time to do something, you expect us to act. Which one is it, devil? Come to you tired of cops telling you when to be righteous and when not? Right. You tired of them getting up all in your damn witness statement and come to the UPK where you can be righteous every day. And then a rapist can get his head bust now. Right. You catch him in the act, oh boy. Oh boy. He was on the train. Nigga, open that window. Get out there. Yeah, that's him. I caught him. Listen, only because of Commander Johnny YAHANNA, we protect our daughters right here. I know, the Philadelphia police, they was on their way, but they wouldn't have gotten here in time. I just, they do their job. They do the best they could. I think they ill equipped with all the corruption. But the UPK is not a corrupt place, blah, 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 blah. You do a whole interview, you get, a ton of time, a ton of accolades, a ton of claps. And that sister know what a hero looks like. Meanwhile, she got to scrap and scrape and feed some foreign entity inside her. And now what? She had to live the rest of her life and fix that shit? Nah, nigga, I'll just go sit down until, the bond hearing. I'll just go sit down. What you in here for? Kill the rapist. What you in here for? Nah, I'm good, homie. Yeah. That's right.
Speaking of a train incident, I was me and the brother Captain Adazaga, Captain Adazaga had it.
That's right.
Back in this week, a lot of brothers here didn't drive. 6 years ago, 10 years ago.
The other brothers still don't drive.
Right.
No, let me take that back. The brothers is driving now. Yes. Yeah, right.
This is going to drive the generation.
After much travail.
A lot of brothers go to this West Hollywood station and go home. So one day, it was 2013 to 2014, and me and Nakazawa was on the train. And there was a homeless brother. He probably had a little schizophrenia. He clearly was out of his mind. But he was talking to me about something. About feeling bad about his sins or something like that. And we were just telling the brother, hey, no sweat, brother. You can be forgiven. Like, you know what I'm saying? The most Lord will be with you, grace will be with you. You can, the sins, you can tone, you can start over. Mm-hmm. It was somebody who was listening, who was riding the train with us next door. Not next door, right next to him. He was like, oh, well, what if you know he just can't get over it? Like it was just Satan in him, demons in him. So the homeless brother got on his knees, tried to do a prayer or something, and he got up. He just got up and started to charge forward to me and Captain Narazaki to try to attack us. So when he went forward, me and Captain Narazaki stood up, and he got scared. He said, "Oh, like we came forward, we stood up." He said, "Oh, I'm sorry. You know, I just grabbed him, and then I grabbed him.
I'll tell you some stories about the camera.
The next stop, I just put him off, and everybody was looking around. Like, wow.
The next stop, you told him where his stop was, and he got it.
Right
This
off.
is live. You didn't put him off. I was there. I was there in the spirit. You told him. You reminded him this was his stop, and he got off. He said, "Thank you."
Right.
You did not put him off.
Right.
To what?
I reminded that was the stop.
Yes.
And,
You reminded him the UPK way. You gave him an education in the upliftment of his people. Go ahead.
Everybody, all the witnesses on the train was amazed that I reminded him of his stop.
That's right. They're so classy. I'll give him That's what I'm saying. Like this story could have read so different if a UPK officer or trooper was on the train. There's troopers in here that will just take you checking. Just go get checked, please. You get the point? Let me keep reading because I don't want to keep you all night, all right? So you'll get the point. Play the tape back. I want to get to the part where one of them is a cop. I don't think he's the chief of police. And he was talking about the woman was so strong and she fought him off and she's really helpful and this and that and the other. Go ahead. Well, listen, 3 minutes time is a quick time, right? Yeah. Ask him if you want a penis in him for 3 minutes. Just ask him. You know, that the same reporter. They responded really quickly. It was just 3 minutes time. All right, nigga, go in that cell and let, Taboo put a rod in your behind for 3 minutes. That wasn't quick, It wasn't quick enough.
So lucky if I make too. That part right there wasn't even reported. That was it looked like a lieutenant or a captain. He had a white shirt on. That said
right, the cop, right? Okay, he later says this girl was so strong and big up to her because she's helping out in the investigation. Play it. See, why they put all of that in there? You know what I mean? It took 3 minutes. They don't understand. The report, they probably didn't even say she getting raped. They say this nigga getting naked, which they ain't going to stop the train for somebody getting naked. But now they're saying the victim got on the train, she had a few beers. In other words, she was drunk, meaning, she probably was asking to get raped. You understand how they're already setting the story up? This is Fox News, I believe, right? I believe this is Fox, right? Fox is absolutely racist against black people in every situation. You get the point? Go ahead.
I hate to even say the phrase, the devil's in the details. The way they say it was 3 minutes in contact. That's because he was on the train while it was running. He had finished raping her.
Well, okay, they said they catch him in the act. I don't think he was. I think
he couldn't leave that train.
He couldn't leave anyway. But the point here is that they're already setting a narrative when this is one of us. If this was one of them, they would burn the city down now. That's what they used to do when them whores lied on brothers. Go ahead.
Doctor, if I could, they said that she was strong for being raped.
Tawana, that's what I'm trying to get to. Get to the part. I played. That's it. We skipped the part where he said it?
That was in the dab. There's a second.
You'll go to the DC page. You'll watch the second video. It might be in the second video. Right? The same cop in the white shirt, he said exactly what the brother said. The sister was so strong and she fought him off and she's really helpful and she's helping us out and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and X, Y, Z. She's strong for what? Because she, she was able to fight back. Negro, you weak because you policing a city where this shit could happen. You understand? You policing a city where this could happen. Find it here in the UPK, I dare you. I dare you. I'll put my rank on it. I dare you. Find it here in the UPK. Some young brother will get up with the spirit of Daniel and put you in the ground and go before the council of the Lord and say why he did it. And he'll get all the support in the world. You get the point? Like, this is not a place where we suffer some bullshit like this out. You understand? This is not that type of place. Give me the DC article quicker. So let me move forward. Somebody who Judges 20 for me, Judges 7 and 20. Give me the apocrypha, the history of Susanna, verse 52. Give me the rape scripture in Deuteronomy 32.
I got a comment.
Please, come on.
One rest for Kabia said, Khan, he is from Congo. They said he was here on a visa.
He from where?
From Congo.
Oh boy, there was a movie named Congo. It was about apes.
I
remember that shit. You remember that movie? Yeah. Congo was some apes, like them apes had a brain. I knew there had to be a hammer. Ain't no brother had to raise no sister, brother. Come on, man. There's a shortage of black men, brother, and he ain't that pressed. Yeah, but that hammer with that funk, he pressed. He should be in IUIC because they rape trannies. And that IUIC Nate, he used to be in GMS with Tahar. That's why Tahar hates him so much. Right. Because before he formed that purple group, he was in there. Right. And Tahar teaches rape. He said if you see a woman, you could just take her. And what did that Nate say recently? About not a woman, but his own wife. Right. That she can't deny him sex. Yeah, right. And that women are westernized in their mind, they brainwash. So that if she says no and you go get some anyway, she says it's rape. Yes, nigga, it's rape. Yes, you could rape your wife. Yes. Yes, you big purple freak. Yeah. You nasty sodomites.
Right. They allow Hamites to kill Israelite women.
And they allow Hamites to rape and kill Israelite women. Right. And you're a cop. Right. As an ex-detective, and I'm telling you all this whole thing coming full circle. Come on, quickly.
It took till 1982 for the United States Supreme Court to outlaw spousal rape.
See? Because that's when you hear the feminist movement say barefoot and pregnant. It's white women they're talking about, not sisters. Because that's what the oppressor was doing to his woman. Come home drunk and just rape her, and now she barefoot and pregnant with a baby she don't want because it was rape. You get the point? Our sisters go to work with the baby. Yeah, he begged. Yeah. He begged, now come feed him kick. They're proud of the slavery with the baby. But that, cave beast right there, no, because she know how this baby came. She gonna fall on the belly. Just gonna dive, swan dive in the goddamn belly. Go ahead.
And a lot of black women ask for the baby.
Listen, I tell you, we the ones in danger right now. You come home from camp or council a long night, you come on the shore, there's a switchblade by your neck. Go left. Go in there. You get held up. Man. What are you going to report it? Not me. Not me. I'm not reporting that. Me too what? No. That's how I like to play. Right here. I reporting shit. Do it again next week. Just give the next time. Do that over here. Yeah. Let's keep going out here. We late. Go ahead.
Kanye is from the Congo. He's from Congo. They said he was here on a visa since 2012 and was not.
Oh, he's an immigrant.
Yeah,
he was in a cage on the border though. Right. And Trump said Mexicans as rapists. Right. No. He ain't the border. Right. No. You understand? You see the problem here. Like our oppressor, he's the problem. Right. Right. Give me DC article real quick. I knew that had to be some stinking hammer. You understand? Listen, in the scriptures, let me show you how we reacted. Just paraphrasing. Jacob had a daughter named Dinah. He had 12 sons and a daughter named Dinah. Dinah was bad, and these Hamites wanted her. And this Hamite king told his son, go rape the damn girl because sex is marriage. So now he raped her, and then he came to Jacob and asked and said, okay, well, I'll marry her. But after he raped her, at the time the family was very small. It was really literally Jacob and the 12 sons. He was surrounded by these heathens. Jacob, trying to keep the tribe alive, decided to make a deal. Simeon and Levi was not having that shit. Big up Simeon and Levi. They was right, but they was wrong. But it was right. But it was wrong. Right? There was, there was right, wrong, and right at the same time. Simeon and Levi said, all right, this is the deal. We have a law of circumcision. If you want to keep our sister, you have to be circumcised. But not just the prince who raped her, everybody, all males over 18 in the city, war age, all males have to be circumcised. Well, the prince said, no problem, because he want to keep his Israelite woman. They all got circumcised. Simeon and Levi led a whole crew, every house, one by one, while they laid up there recovering. You get circumcised when you're a grown man, brothers. You might as well do a Chappelle and go to Africa and hide. You're not healing anytime soon. And they went house to house and slaughtered them Hamites, and Jacob was wroth with them. Jacob said they have, in their anger, they dig down a wall. Their anger was so severe, and the curse was that they would be angry with each other. That's why Levi and Simeon fight each other on that island of Hispaniola. Right? The so-called Dominican, the so-called Haitian, today hate each other. Because when they come together, brother, there's nothing and no one they won't kill. They're wrong for going against Jacob, but brother, it was from a place of righteousness at the same time. But it was wrong. They should not have gone against Jacob. But goddamn, Dinah got some vengeance that day. She got some justice. It's something to learn from. Don't disobey no orders in here. I ain't Jacob. My name ain't even close to it. I'm telling you, fair warning. You young brothers who in camp. All right? You hear me? Now, if before I give the order, you kill the bastard, then, I'll be with you. But if I say stand down and you still leap off the podium, nigga, we scrambling in Central Booking now. We scrambling in D1. As soon as that officer walk out. Oh, David said, guard! You're going to be yelling because I'm going to have a problem. Follow the orders. All right, that's what Simeon and Levi are supposed to do. Let me get the article quickly out. We're right through on the time.
3 former police cadets.
No, this is another story. This is DC with the police cadet scandal on the backs of so much sex trafficking scandals. These cops, as soon as they get a little rank, one of them was running a whole sex trade, and I think he committed suicide somewhere down in the Potomac or somewhere. Went and blew his brains out right in DC with these young girls that they would arrest on some shit or part of some raid, part of the deal to get off, plea deal and all that shit to get off of some raid, is now that when he pull up, they better serve. And then he gonna send her on missions and collect the money so she don't go to jail. They in hell, but we the hate group though. Right. We a hate group and we oppress women. Right. You get the point? Go ahead.
3 former police cadets are accusing DC police of abuse and retaliation. And Fox 5 spoke to some of the women telling their story.
Right, of course, if it's Fox, it's black people is involved. This is not white cadets or Asian cadets. How you know it's not white cadets or Asian cadets? It would have been more publicized. You understand? Did you all hear about the story before? No. You could imagine if it was a white woman. You understand? You would have known her. You'd have known what her favorite color was. You get the point? Right. This is sisters we're talking about here. Go ahead.
All 3 former cadets filed suit Tuesday morning, according to their attorney, and they took part in a community meeting at Unity Baptist Church Tuesday night.
Right, sidebar. Whoever paying attention, any one of you brothers, you find out what the next community meeting is for that shit. We going down. They're gonna have a problem. Right. Go ahead.
Tuesday night, as part of a broader discussion on policing and accusations, specifically from women against the DC Police Department.
Go ahead.
Another lawsuit was filed last month accusing a DC police sergeant of retaliating against cadets.
Right, retaliating because why? She come out and she talk. Right. And now they're trying to cut her hours and change her shift and do all kind of nonsense. Keep going.
Who did not participate in parties and underage drinking.
Say it again.
Who did not participate in parties and underage drinking.
So because she said, I ain't going to the party and I ain't having a drink, it's a problem because these parties is to see who will do what. You understand?
Right.
And underage drinking means what? What's the age? What's the drinking age in DC? 21. So they're getting them young things. Young girls coming out. We the hate group though. You understand? We the hate group. Go ahead.
The women claimed they were retaliated against because they cooperated in an internal investigation against a superior.
Mm-hmm.
We got pulled to get questioned, and I told exactly what I'm telling you to them. I was not there. However, I was invited, and this is what I heard.
Now listen, she getting slammed because she refused to go to the party. What do you think happens to the girls who went to the party?
Right.
Because she said, nah, I ain't going. Which means what? If they got angry because she said she ain't coming, what does that mean?
It's an angry. It's been angry. She said, no, I'm not having sex at the party.
Okay, what does that mean about them?
They rapists.
They really, really wanted her. You understand? Like, they're angry now. This bitch ain't coming. God damn it. They probably done signed overtime. They probably done did favors, thinking now she gonna owe us. They probably done did certain things ahead of time without her asking, because now I'm gonna get that favor back, because that's how they operated before. Right. And she said, "Oh, you're having a party? How you just said? Who? Who all gonna be there?" Bitch said, "I ain't coming," and they got angry.
Right.
Go ahead.
Former DC police cadet Alice McIntosh said,
Mm-hmm.
"That's when I would say the retaliation started," said former cadet Anari Miller. "Like I would come to work and walk on eggshells.
Mm-hmm.
And I went home, it was very depressing. I remember not eating, not sleeping much. I was pregnant at the time. It took a toll on my pregnancy."
I don't know what that means because the article don't say it, but I could only imagine. She said it took a toll on her pregnancy. Those of you all who don't know, pregnancy is a very hard thing to achieve. Like I know for most blacks and Hispanics, we don't think it's difficult because we get pregnant so easy. Because the Lord said we would be more than the sand of the sea and the stars of the sky. Right? Our ability to be fruitful is a blessing. Forget about Ephraim. You know, Ephraim got, more kids than you got fingers and toes. You get the point? More kids. That's part of our blessing. But she said it took a toll on her pregnancy even. Because she's stressed out. Why? Because a woman has to have very ideal conditions to even conceive. Much less continue with the baby. It's so easy to not conceive. It's not easy to conceive. And it's so easy to have a miscarriage because of stress. When you're stressed out, what happens to you normally? A brother or sister who's not pregnant, or a brother? You lose weight. Why? Why?
So if I make it, you're not eating.
You're not eating, but there's something else.
Smoking.
Anxiety. Stress.
When you're in okay, you might not have experienced it, but okay, those brothers who was in the Eastern military, they're in planes, right? Something happened and the plane mightn't make it to where they go. What do? They dump cargo. So the fuel could carry a lighter plane further because it's a stressful situation. You lose stress because your body can't carry this weight and function under that stress. So it starts burning. You can't sleep because your body going. It's burning up. It's burning up whatever. You might be snacking a whole lot, but you ain't putting on no weight because you stressed the hell out. How many of you brothers gained weight since you come to the truth? I remember Dawda when he came, that wasn't him. Dawda looks like a young Mike Tyson right now. Forget about Barack, Kazak, Shapak. All of y'all look, so like you're horrible when you came in. No more horrible than I did. Y'all think y'all looking fly all skinny. When you get more action from the ladies, then or now? Huh? Before you had to walk up to her. Now what happens? You minding your business, and what happens? Huh? What happens? Oh, the camera you want to talk now. You're talking all the whole night. Can't say nothing. I'm setting me up. I ain't setting you up, huh? It's the truth. They just see you and walk up to you because now you look like, dang, that nigga look right now. You look right. It happens. Everybody, you come in truth, you start putting on that good weight. Not that bad weight. And nigga, all the truth, your same weight looks horrible. But you look full of life and healthy and powerful. You get the point? Because it's the truth. You understand? Go ahead.
Keep reading, sir.
Mm-hmm.
The third former cadet involved in this suit says the sergeant threatened her in a phone call, which was recorded.
Right? He recorded her because he's so lust-filled. He called her. Now, he a cop. He done tap people lines out. He done bought people lines. But he called her to threaten her. This is how lust-filled he is. Because he won that tail so much. Go ahead.
The attorney representing these 3 cadets is also representing 10 black women, also suing the department for $100 million.
Go ahead.
All current and former officers who are alleging a culture of discrimination and harassment.
Mm-hmm.
DC Assistant Chief Chanel Dickerson is part of the suit.
No, she's the Assistant Chief of Police. Right? The Chief of Police is something Conti. Robert Conti or something is his name. I think he's acting. Right, he was replaced after what's the one there who looked like the KKK? He came in after the white girl. I forget his name. But Conti, I think he's an acting chief of police.
He came in at he came in chief
Newsom is the KKK one. The white girl, I forget her name. She even went to the NFL.
Oh, okay.
Right, because she saw it. They tried to keep her. She said, there's too much corruption in the department. That's what she said. And then she went to the NFL to be chief security officer. Then Newsom came in. So what? Then Newsom came in and he was absolutely racist. I think then this guy came in after. All right, go ahead.
Oh, God.
So now you have Dickerson, the acting chief, right? Go ahead.
She is the highest ranking black woman in the department.
Say it one more time.
She is the highest ranking black woman in the department.
Somebody hold Deuteronomy 28 and 50. I think it's 50 at once, or 52. Read it one more time again.
She is the highest ranking black woman in the department.
She's the highest ranking black woman in the department, in DCPD. Go ahead.
She shared a deeply personal and disturbing experience she had back when she herself was a cadet.
Let me tell you something now. Y'all could say what y'all want about UPK brothers and how we rule with an iron fist and we too rough and we territorial and we controlling. This is why we so goddamn controlling. Read.
When I was 18 years old as a police cadet, I was told I have to have an abortion or be fired from the MPD cadet program.
She came into the cadet program pregnant. Because why? Options is limited. She have a child on the way. Police job, they always hire and she trying to come in there for a check. Like the other sister who said the stress took a toll on her pregnancy. They told her, listen, you need to take an abortion if you want this job, if you need to move up. Go ahead.
She said, my choice to have a baby was personal.
Say it again.
She said, my choice to have a baby was personal.
So she chose to have a child. Go ahead.
And it should have been mine alone.
And it should have been mine alone. What does that mean?
What's she saying? It should have been her decision?
It should have been her decision alone to have that child. Meaning nobody should have told her anything. So what does that mean?
That means that it was, if she did have an abortion, she was...
It was by the orders of that slave.
Right.
Read on.
Okay. And it should have been mine alone and not for an employer ultimatum. Fast forward from that time, I think about my female colleagues when I was promoted to sergeant. And it was another sergeant who was promoted with me. And she needed a shift that was conducive to taking care of her child as a single mother. Unfortunately, she had to do things no woman should ever have to do to care for her child.
Now she talking about another woman who was in the ranks with her that she saw got slotted out because she wanted an earlier shift or a later shift so she could be there to pick up her daughter or son from school. Like, you know how those of you who with kids, you all know how important it is to you in the developing ages to be there around your children. And imagine you could go to your slave and ask for a shift change or to work these hours so you could drop them off to school and pick them back up. You're already missing them for the whole day, but at least you could be there to relieve and, spend some time. And to do that, you got to do some more nasty thing for some nigga with 3 stripes on his damn shoulder. You understand? Now, this Chief Dickinson, she got promoted. But they told her get the abortion. Keep reading.
Dickinson went on to share that she does not have any children of her own.
Say it again.
Dickinson went on to share that she does not have any children of her own.
When these UPK brothers tell you shut your mouth and sit down, you should shut your mouth. When these brothers tell you relax, woman, chill out, you should do it. Because these slaveries you're going to will make you destroy your body. You think you think that time was the only time she had sex? She was a cadet and now she's the acting chief and she don't have no children. What do you think happened to her? It's not in the article, but I could already tell you. She had an abortion and she can't have no more children, no matter how much she tried. Unless she comes into the truth, of course. She comes into the truth with her husband or whatever, the Lord gonna bless her. But what happened there, brother, it was a curse from the Lord. You got a chance to choose Egypt or follow the law of Moses or follow Christ. And you chose Egypt. You did not do like Shiphrah and Zipporah. You did not do that. You chose to follow Ramesses. No, you don't have no children. And you got to share that publicly as some trauma bond with a bunch of, loudmouth Christian broads who get violated in church and you go get violated at your goddamn slavery. But we the hate group, though. We hate women. We're making so much goddamn children, we don't know what to do. But we the hate group. You got it, Hannah?
Yeah, I just want to say, and it happens everywhere. And most definitely, when I used to do security at Allied University, this one was a brother.
Mm-hmm.
He would like in security, you just think you're a security officer, but they got a rank, you become a lieutenant or whatever. This brother, he already had a story.
Somebody who judges 7 and 20, all right? Go ahead.
He already had a story. He got fired before because he got caught. A business guy out there, he was sleeping with the young security officers that he were hired.
Right.
And then I don't know if they said his father worked for the company or something. Somehow he got rehired. But all the women that worked under him, they used to call me to come in for the shift. They were young women. They had rank. And I used to try to figure out like, how y'all get a rank in here? It's because come to find out he's sleeping with the young girls.
Yeah.
And with the other contractors of the other women in the building. Like it was an Edomite who hired me at her property. And I'm seeing him and the Edomite leave for lunch. I'm like, you better go have sex.
Yeah, he about to go lay the pipes. You get the one? Give me just 28. What else is I want?
20, 50.
50? Is that the scripture I want?
I believe so.
50 through 52.
Give me for want of all things. 53. Give me 28 and 53 real quick. This she's the acting chief, assistant chief of police, right? What is she? Because
She's
the assistant chief,
DC assistant chief. Yeah, council.
and she is the only black woman at that rank, or the first black woman, the highest ranking sister, and you're the lowest ranking mother.
Right.
How tragic is your life?
Right.
You imagine you got breast and a period every month for nothing.
Right.
Because of we live under this oppressor. The white man is the devil.
That's right.
And if you don't believe it, man, just look at this woman's life, man.
Right.
Like what, to have a gun on your hip and handcuffs? You ain't supposed to be no goddamn cop any goddamn way, man.
Right.
Your life empty today.
Right.
It's empty. Why? Because you didn't stand up for yourself when you could have. It's the same reason nobody standing up for that sister on the train.
Right.
It's the same reason nobody standing up for the Israelites on the border but the UPK.
Right.
You understand? Nobody standing up for the Levites but the UPK. We the light, we the beacon, we that man on that white horse are conquering and to conquer.
Right.
That sister didn't have to give up a whole damn uterus for a job, a stinking job. Right. A dirty, stinking job. That oppressing black people. Ain't nobody make Kathleen O'Neill slaughter her ass out. You remember Kathleen O'Neill, the chief of police, the white girl? She didn't have to go have sex with nobody. In fact, I think her husband was a Maryland chief of police or something. That was the whole scandal with her. How she had a house in DC and Maryland because she was with some high-ranking Maryland State trooper. But ain't nobody do that to her. But these young girls coming out to, you know, spin down going, what would they have? Coolidge and Baloo and, you know, H.D. Wilson and them young girls coming out to that. And you put them in khaki and invite them to parties because that's what young niggas like. You know what I mean? And you seduce them and give them overtime and promise them something so you can have fun in the back of your goddamn squad car. Then you want to pass by the camp and tell me something. It wasn't for protocol. I light you behind up. It wasn't for and still to a point you could get it because you done got it already. Sometimes they pull up on the camp and try to arrest General Q and the brothers and Captain Sakawal got up there and blazed the behind out. They arrest some random brother in the crowd for the white girl came up and assaulted us. They let the white girl go and arrest the brother. Captain Sakawal get up there and blaze them in the spirit of the Lord with no fear. No fear. They have to let the brother go and arrest the white girl. Because we do your job for you. We do your job for you. And we make them babies. Leave us the hell alone, man. Right. This woman doesn't she the highest black woman. But you ain't a mother. Right. Nobody ever called you mommy. Imagine that. Imagine that shit. You know how gutted she feels when she go home? Now you see when these sisters be arresting brothers and pulling you over why they have an attitude. Remember that when you're talking to them. Remember, when they go back to the precinct, they're just a piece of ass. They're not an officer. Right. They're Mrs. Officer and F the police. That's who they really are. Remember that when they pull you over and you have to deal with them. They're coming from a place of pain. They don't have strong men like in this room to protect them and deal with them and help them and guide them and correct them. They don't have that. They have a pimp. Read scripture, please.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 53. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy God hath given thee.
Say it again.
Which the Lord thy God hath given thee.
Who gave that sister that baby?
The Lord thy God hath given thee.
Abortion is murder because why?
Which the Lord thy God hath given thee.
That baby in your womb is God's baby, man. The Lord gave you that. You killed that child for a job. For a goddamn job. And now you're childless. And decades later, because I'm sure she probably was 40 or 50, if she's a damn acting chief of police, young girls who could be her daughter coming in there and getting slotted out. It's your fault, sis, Miss Dickerson. Chief Dickerson, this is your fault. This is absolutely your fault. You was on the job and you didn't even keep your garments on the job. You're police. Supposed to police the police. You didn't do it. You did not do it. Read on.
Come. Which the Lord thy God hath given thee in the siege and in the straitness.
In the siege.
In the siege and in the straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee.
Right? In the siege and the straitness. A siege is like to be under occupation in times of war. And that's what we are. We under siege and in the straits, in a narrow place where you can't move, where we don't have much options. That's where we are. Imagine you go into a job, not a secretary, not a bus driver, but a police cadet and you pregnant. So what's you going to do when you graduate? Run down and they go with a pregnant body? Is you that desperate? Yes, because we in the siege. And because of it, we eat the fruit of our own body. If that don't show you who the real Jews are, I don't know what else to tell you. Ain't no Jewish woman going through this. Sarah Silverman, who get up and say, any actor who is not Jewish that playing a Jewish Jew face, trying to clown blackface, she ain't had to go through this. Our sisters do. You get the point? Our sisters do. Give me in the Apocrypha History of Susanna, verse 52. Please. Give me Genesis 7 and 20 real quick and History of Susanna, all right? You all know the scripture on rape. The scriptures say rape is like is as if a man rises up against his neighbor and kills him. Rape is murder. That's what you do to a woman. It's better you just kill her. It's better you just do it. Sisters, it's better you die. Which means what? What do I mean by when I say it's better you die? For the sister. Let sister answer. Whoever think they understand it. Go ahead, Tamara.
Like when you get raped, you don't really be the same no more.
That's true, because that person is dead. So it's better if you what? Meaning, and what does that mean? It's better you... Okay, take it like this. What does a sister or a brother in that situation automatically try to do?
Kill yourself for the person.
Somebody coming to violate you with a weapon or something, punch you in your face, bust your teeth. Shut up, shut up. What does a brother or sister in that situation try to do? And I'm saying this for the sisters because I think the brothers might already understand it. What does a normal person try to do? Go ahead.
Protect yourself. Right?
Protect yourself, which means what?
Hold on, not kill, but like defend themselves, like fight the person back.
Defend it? No, not fight the person back. How does the rape happen if you're fighting the person back? Sis? You got any hand up?
Yeah, I was going to say fight the person, but
okay, not what you should do. I'm talking about what happens.
They do nothing.
They do nothing. Why?
Because of fear.
And the fear is because they want to do what?
They want to wait for it to pass. To be over.
That's true. You're not saying it.
I was going to say stay alive.
They're trying to stay alive. What's he trying to stay alive for? To wake up the next morning and look yourself in the mirror and just see blood and bruises and an eye that wandering and black and blue, and your husband can't even touch you or a brother can't even talk to you now because you're destroying? What you staying alive for? Bitch, fight and die. Scratch, kick, punch him out. Let him have sex with a corpse. You understand? Which is what the sister in Philly halfway did. They said she was fighting. She was fighting. Could have been the liquor. She probably drinking that Patron or something. She was fighting. But you are required to die. You sisters in here, you cannot get raped. You understand? You wouldn't, you can't. It's damn near, and this is not to blame you, it's to put a larger responsibility in you. Let us bury you. Do not save your life. What you would find is we would nurse you back to health for about 12 or 18 months, but you would not get raped. Let him rape a corpse. He wants you so bad, make sure he kills you. Do not comply. Run, scream, yell, tell, scratch, scrape, bite, kick, everything. Do not give in. Never give in. Ever. Till your last breath. We will scream your name from the rafters. We will talk about you at every camp for a sister that decided to protect her integrity until death. You understand? Not somebody who'll go have an abortion for a job. For a check. Nigga, listen, how many people had jobs when they sent the stimulus checks? Well, when they sent the stimulus check, how many people did not have jobs in the sense? You still got a check, right? God. So she killed the baby for nothing? God. Oh, okay. Okay. You cannot accept that. Right. You get the point? Give me Judges 7 real quick. So lock you on the time market. We almost done.
The book of Judges, chapter 7, verse 20. Mm-hmm. And the three companies blew the trumpets and break the pitchers and held the lamps in their left hands.
This is Joshua, right? What happened is Joshua went to war. His men was dying. He was trying to find the reason why. The Lord said, go kill everybody. One brother decided he needed to take these Babylon garments and bring them home. And the Lord was angry and he was killing Israel because of it. Right. But his brother disobeyed what he was supposed to do. And he hid this Babylon garment. Imagine Christ was to come today and you take, and Christ say, burn everything in America. Just bring everything UPK. And you want to bring some Jordans and some Louis Vuittons and hide them under the bed because you think you fresh and you fly. Right? Go ahead. So the army, people was dying, and Joshua couldn't understand why they was losing the battles and dying, and he decided to do an investigation internally. Go ahead.
And held the lamps in their left hands, and the trumpets in their right hands to blow with them. And they cried, the sword of the Lord and of Gideon. And they stood every man in his place round about the camp. And all the hosts ran and cried and fled. Verse 22. And the 300 blew the trumpets, and the Lord set every man's sword against his fellow, even throughout all the hosts. And the hosts fled.
Give me the Babylonish garments. Where is that? Well, it's just 7. It's right here in 7. I probably gave you the wrong verse. 21. Give me 21.
And they stood every man in his place.
Joshua 7 and 21. Salakia Bodada.
Joshua chapter 7, verse 21. When I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonish garment, and 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight, then I coveted them. And
I what?
Then I coveted them.
I what?
I coveted them.
He coveted them. He wanted them even though he wasn't supposed to have them. Go ahead.
And took them. And behold, they are hid in the earth in the midst of my tent.
Just like that African. Right. I saw that sister on that train and he coveted her. Right. He wanted her so much he wasn't supposed to have her, but he coveted her. Right. So that GMS teaches is that IUIC teacher could rape your wife. Let's see woman sleeping in your bed taking care of your kids. What the hell, nigga? Right. And then you're gonna say you can't have more than one. If she don't want to have sex now, then just go to the other house, the dummy. Right. But you cheated only one wife, so she had to take all the pressure. She can't get a break. You're a dummy. Right. You're a sodomite. Right. Go ahead. Oh God.
They are hid in the.
I was in the comment squeezing the oranges a little too much. Squeezing the juice out of the oranges, man. Go ahead.
They are hid in the earth in the midst of my tent.
Right. This brother, he was covetous over these, gay apparel. He hid them in his tent. Joshua went to his house, brought him out, his wife, his children, his animals, dug a pit, put him in the pit, killed them, and set them on fire. Right. That's how you deal with somebody like that, to put the evil away from among you. Right. That's righteous judgment. Right. That's what should happen to these rapists under Christ's kingdom. That's what should happen to these deviant cops under Christ's kingdom. Give me the apocrypha history of Susanna real quick, and then we done. All right? You all know the rape scripture, Deuteronomy, I think it's 32 and 23, 25. Real quick. Salakia, the time, you'll just bear with me. I just definitely wanted to get this because this is why the UPK is who we are and why the world is who it is. The violations that happen in the world is because they call us a hate group. And they claim to love everything, but they filmed while that girl fought for her life. And the news reports say after having a few drinks, how well could she fight? And then you're going to lie on the radio and say you have daughters and you would jump in, you wouldn't jump in. Because your preacher raping right now. Right. Your boyfriend molesting your children right now. And you ain't doing nothing. Go ahead.
The history of Susanna. Verse 52.
Just so you all know, you could read history of Susanna. These two priests saw Susanna. Susanna was a bad sister. Saw Susanna and they lusted after her. They used to climb over the top of the fence and watch her bathe. They decided they was going to have sex with her. She refused. They said, if you don't have sex with us, we're going to tell your husband you was here having sex with another man in the garden. And we would call you adulteress. And who would believe you over us because we are high-ranking priests in the kingdom of the Lord? They would believe us. Susanna said, it is better that I fall. Is it 52? It is better that I fall into the hands of the Lord than to fall into these men's hands. And she said, Lord, if I have to die, let me die, but I'll not do this. And he rose up Daniel, who stopped the court case, right? So give me verse 52. Right? Go ahead.
History of Susanna, verse 52. So when they were put asunder one from another, he called one of them and said unto him, O thou art.
Right, so now you'll read from 42 on down to about 45, right? Susanna stood up against these priests, these wicked priests. And she said, listen, I'm ready to die now. No problem, put me to death, but I'll die innocently, which is why I tell the sisters, you're not allowed to get violated. You're had to fight until you die. He's bigger and stronger than you. If he so wants you, let him have you after you done left your body. Your body is nothing. That spirit you have is everything. You cannot give in to a rape. You cannot just say, okay, let it be over and I'm done.
It's like y'all want to say, your sister asked me before, what if he knock you out?
Well, you can't do nothing then. But the minute you come to, you better bite and scratch and do everything. And the Lord gonna be with you with it. Right? Like he was with Susanna. So Daniel got up in the middle of it and he stopped the whole court case. So this is what we're reading now. When they were put asunder, they were separated. These two priests, go ahead.
O thou that art waxen old in wickedness.
Read it again.
O thou that art waxen old in wickedness.
What is it? What do we say about them DC cops who train in them cadets who want to invite them to parties?
O thou that art waxen old in wickedness.
They waxed old in wickedness. Like you have some ornaments in your house and you start touching it and you feel the oil and the grease on it from all the oil particles in the air when it was cooking. You get the point, and it's waxing because it's there a long time. And it just get old, but it's old in wickedness. And that's what happens in your churches, in your police departments, and your mayor offices, everywhere. Right. They're all waxed old in wickedness. Go ahead.
Now thy sins, which thou hast committed aforetime, are come to light.
Now your sins, which you have committed aforetime, has come to light. This sister had to admit she murdered a baby, and now she can't have no more. Now that come to light. Now all these sergeants and lieutenants and everything else, you know what I mean? Yeah, you are some of them that they come and they tell us, they say, listen, man, you're all the truth, you're keeping rocking. Y'all, I could understand because you're coming, you'll say it. But the other ones who are advantaging these sisters, man, the Lord gonna bring judge. COVID was for you. Right. That's what COVID was for. Right? Give me verse 57.
Verse 57. Thus have ye dealt with the daughters of Israel.
Right? This is how they dealt with the daughters of Israel. Wickedly. Absolutely wickedly. Go ahead.
And they for fear companied with you.
And for fear, these young girls companied with them. What does that mean? Joined them, meaning gave in. They accepted the invitation to these parties. Right. And took the rank raise and took, overtime just for a little, a little playtime, a little private show, a little peep show, entertain the boys. For fear, they join you in company. Go ahead.
But the daughter of Judah would not abide your wickedness.
Say it again.
But the daughter of Judah would not abide your wickedness.
Say it one more time.
But the daughter of Judah would not abide your wickedness.
But this sister here, Susanna, she would not abide in your wickedness. She chose death over dishonor, which is UPK, which is the Spirit of Christ, which is conquering and to conquer. Our officers are better officers than yours. Right. Our captains and generals in here are better leaders than yours. Right. Just hand over your city to us. Right. Hand over your city to us. We'll handle it. We'll make sure everything is fine. Nobody ain't gonna get raped on no goddamn subway. Imagine nobody ain't knock her over the head and drag her in an alley, but you gonna take her in a subway in front of everybody. Now listen, the sins of this place have reached unto heaven. Right. This is the home of the every foul bird and every wicked creature. All right, but the sisters of Israel will not abide. Right? Will not. That's your name. YAHANNA will not abide. These sisters they will not abide. That's the sisters we raise up in here, and this is the brothers we raise up in here. Listen, Chief Conti and Mayor, what's the mayor Philly name? Somewhere there? What's the mayor Philly name up? Mayor Kennedy or something like that? I'm gonna tell you his name now. Mayor Kennedy, right? Chief Conti and Mayor Kennedy, just hand over your city to the I.S.U.P.K. We'll help you out. You can't figure out what's going on? We'll figure it out. We're better officers than you. We're not for hire. Right. We ain't hurting for no box either. We good. The box hurting for us. Right. We ain't hurting for the box. You get the point? So like in time, you all forgive me. I needed to get this all the way out so you understand the standard we operate with. All right. With that, pass the class over to Priesthood Officer.
I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, out of Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers 18 and 30, 18 and 21, and the book of Malachi 3 and 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. The next upcoming holy convocation is the Feast of Dedication, which is Hanukkah, which is the 25th day of the 9th month, by the space of 8 days. Starts Sunday, November 28th, for 8 days. And you can find this in the book of Maccabees, which is in the Apocrypha, chapter 4, verses 52 through 61. The next I.S.U.P.K upcoming event is in Las Vegas, Nevada, which is November 11th to the 14th. Remind Akim and Akwathian to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to become a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headbands, or scarf. With that, say a major, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah. Yasmachah, Saw, which means to turn. Sisters, you can stand up. We'll give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim Barak, Yahweh Shema Alatam Hashem Yahushua. Yasmachah, and with that, class dismissed.